Sport. You're listening to The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids.
We now leave our network programming to bring you the following special sports presentation.
I've got a problem. This is John Rogers, and we're having a bit of a problem that we didn't anticipate. So we'll keep going here in just a second and bring you the Kernel game. We are expecting our game open to play, and it has not yet, so we'll keep trying on that front. John Rogers here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and let's see if we can bring you the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show right now here in the Zone. All right, that's not happening either, so give us just a moment, and we'll see if we can.
Sunday afternoon we have for big things at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Good afternoon, everyone. John Rogers with you on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And what are the big things? Bird Circus here. The first 1,000 of you Kernel fans to come through the gates will receive the 2006 set of Kernel baseball cards from Perfect Game, and what a beautiful Sunday.
Okay, this is John Rogers. We're going to try again from the top with our game open here at the ballpark. That's still not working, so we'll be right here. We're going to try one more time with our game open. No, that is not working, so we will try again our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show.
Beautiful Sunday afternoon we have for big things at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Good afternoon, everyone. John Rogers with you on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. And what are the big things? Bird Circus here. The first 1,000 of you Kernel fans to come through the gates will receive the 2006 set of Kernel baseball cards from Perfect Game, and the American Heart Association St. Luke's and Velocity Sports Performance will be putting on a fitness exposition all afternoon. Other than that, the only thing that we have to highlight are two of the best pitchers in the Midwest League going against each other this afternoon. Our own Nick Adenhart at 7-1, and Burlington's Matt Nijinsky, with this series tied a game apiece, will pitch for the Bees. He has won his last 4 starts, and that's where we're going to begin with the voice of the Bees, a long-time Midwest League fixture, highly respected, one of my best friends, Randy Wayhofer. And Randy, you come to the ballpark on a day like this afternoon, and you wonder what can top the weather and the entertainment and possibly the pitching matchup could.
I don't know that I've anticipated a pitching matchup.
This is John Rogers. I apologize for the trouble we're having here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. We haven't had to have this problem, so we will continue.
His last few starts, he's been very good, and if he has a chance to come out and throw like that today, this game could be over quickly and be very low scoring.
Randy, you're absolutely right. We've had a 2-hour and 2-minute game here on Friday night, a 2-hour and 25-minute game last night. The series is even in a game apiece. And Matt Nijinsky has an interesting background. He's from Canada, and he's in the Royal Organization.
Yeah, he's from Canada originally. He's been to 3 different colleges before the Royals drafted him. He finished at High Point University in North Carolina, and he's the first guy drafted from there in over 30 years. It's not necessarily a traditional baseball power, but where if you can pitch, they'll find you. Nijinsky actually started as reliever last year in Idaho Falls. This is his first year as a starting pitcher in pro ball, and they liked his arm. He has a good live fastball. It's not 95 plus, but it's low 90s, and has a pretty good curveball, has pretty good command. He's very athletic. That was one of the things that he described to me. One of his things that he tries to focus on is staying athletic with his delivery on the mound, and just letting kind of his natural tendencies take over. So he's fun to watch pitch, so he feels his position pretty well. He's got a kind of one of those upbeat personalities, and the guys around him respond to him, and our defense has been pretty good this year, and that has benefited him as well as the rest of the pitching staff.
Matt Nijinsky is the right-hander that will face our 7-1 Nick Adenhart. Nijinsky's numbers for Burlington in his last 4 starts, all wins, 27 1/3 innings pitched. He's only allowed 5 runs on just 16 hits, struck out 31 and walked 5. Every time Nick Adenhart takes the hill for the Kernels, Randy, our ball club thinks they can win the game, and the Bees must be feeling the same way this afternoon.
Yeah, especially when we're at home. Nijinsky's 5-0 at our place, and he did get his first road win his last time out at Beloit on the road. And, our starting pitching, they've kind of built like this competition within themselves. Chris Nichols been outstanding since he's come up. We saw Michael Penn.
This is John Rogers at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and I apologize for the loud hum in our line. I'm going to try to switch something.
Kind of fed off of each other and try to one-up the next every time they go back out to the mound. So it'll be interesting to see what he comes out with today.
Randy Wayhofer, the play-by-play broadcaster of the Burlington Bees, is alongside on this lovely Sunday afternoon. Game 3, pitting the Kernels against the Kansas City Royal minor leaguers, the Burlington Bees. And, Randy, I want to pick up on something you said about Matt Nijinsky, your starter this afternoon, who will pitch against our Nick Adenhart. You said he loves being athletic. Having grown up in Canada, did he play hockey?
I think he played a lot of different things, and hockey was one of them. Although he doesn't come across as he's a baseball player. Some guys you meet kind of dabble in this because they think there's a career for it, but didn't necessarily grow up with the passion for the game. I didn't get that from Matt. I sensed that, while he's a good athlete and played other sports, that baseball was at the top of his list.
Why do you think he did bounce around to 3 different colleges? What he wanted to do?
Yeah, he started at a junior college and wasn't a good situation for him, is the way he described it. Then he went over to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M junior college program. Bobby Mosby from Dayton was one of his teammates there for a season, and then he did graduate from High Point. I think there was some educational value that City had there, so looking for a place to finish his degree, and that's where he ended up. And when you bounce around like that, they don't necessarily have a book on you. It wasn't on the radar of all the big schools and as part of the recruiting scene. But if you can play, they'll find you, as the saying goes. And fortunately for the Royals, I think they might have found a pretty good one here.
We'll be back in just a moment. We're talking with Randy Wayhofer, the voice of the Bees. He's given us the lowdown on an outstanding pitcher that will be on the hill for the Burlington squad this afternoon, Matt Nijinsky. He'll face our very best, Nick Adenhart, in what on paper looks like a dynamic pitching duel. Back with Randy in just a moment. We'll talk about the departure of Royal General Manager Allard Baird. Randy knew Allard very well. We'll broach that subject next here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show on the Kernel Radio Network. We're here for your communication needs. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and with North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com. On this gorgeous Sunday afternoon, it's Game 3 between the Kernels and the Bees. The Kernels won the first one Friday night 4-2, dropped last night's contest 3-1, and Randy Wayhofer is with us from Burlington. He's the voice of the Bees. And Randy, it was a sad day 2 days ago when the Royals announced that they were making a major change at the top. General Manager Allard Baird has been replaced by Dayton Moore of the Atlanta Braves, and that will take effect later next week after the draft. Allard Baird, the reason I say it was a sad event, you've told me off the record just what a great human being he is. And would you share a few of the stories, because you know Allard pretty well?
It's just a matter of, I think, to say I know him pretty well, only in the regard as how much an A-ball radio guy knows the general manager of the big league team. In the relationship that we've had with the Kansas City Royals and going to the winter meetings and being part of the affiliate dinners. I sat across the table from Allard the first year that we went to Dallas in our first year with the organization, and he has a home in South Florida, and we exchanged stories about my time at the University of Miami and the players that I had seen and he had scouted. He started in this league as a hitting coach with Appleton Burlington in 1988. That was his first job in the Royals organization, and he worked his way up the ranks. So he always had a fondness for the Midwest League and for this level of baseball, for what the minor league system means to the organization. So he always made time for interviews when he did come to town. He always had time to talk to you, always remembered your name, asked how your family was. One time he met us on the road while we were in Dayton, and we walked into the same restaurant separately, and he invited me over and sat at his table, and we had dinner and talked baseball, and it was a big thrill for me, to be in that position. But he never acted like I'm the general manager of a Major League Baseball team. He had a job to do, and he tried to do it the best he could with the restrictions that were placed upon him by ownership and market size, and he knows that this is a results-driven business, and the Royals aren't getting the results that they want to, and a change was called for, and I have a feeling that he'll be back in baseball and on his feet somewhere, because nobody works harder than Allard Baird, and I think he is well respected within the baseball community, and the way the system works, somebody else will want him as part of their organization. Whether or not it's as a general manager immediately, I don't know, but he'll do something within the game.
Randy, thanks. That was a great capsule summary of a guy who you do respect and think the world of, and he probably treated everyone in the Royal organization like he treated you.
Yeah, I'm not the special one here. He is, because that's the way everybody got treated, and he was almost honest to a fault with which was the way it was described. If there was a guy who didn't fit in the plans, he didn't pull any punches. He went up to him in his locker and said, "Hey, we're not going to renew your contract. We feel that this didn't work out for us, and we'll move on." It wasn't rude about it, but he was very honest about it, and I think guys respected that. They had an opportunity to get on the phone with their agent and say, "Hey, we're going to need something else for next year because the Royals aren't going to bring me back," and you knew that a couple of weeks ahead of when the season was going to end. And whether or not the Royals ever won a championship under him, I don't think is going to be the mark of his tenure with that organization.
Randy Wayhofer, thank you so much on this Sunday afternoon for being our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. We'll be down at Community Field in the second half and look forward to our visit to your wonderfully renovated ballpark. Randy Wayhofer, continued success to you, your family, and your Burlington Bees. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Always a pleasure.
That's Burlington broadcaster Randy Wayhofer talking about the fine starter, Matt Nijinsky. He'll go up against our best, Nick Adenhart, this afternoon. And Randy also reflecting on what a great human being Allard Baird is, the recently deposed general manager of Kansas City. Up next, Sunday afternoon, starting lineups from the ballpark. This has been the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show here on the Kernel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communications. CUNA Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
What a glorious Sunday afternoon we have here at the ballpark. Welcome to Veterans Memorial Stadium, Eastern Iowa. I'm your play-by-play host, John Rogers. Craig Schambor pitched 2 1/3 scoreless innings to earn his 5th save, and the Bees are a game above the 500, and they tied this series at a game apiece with their win last night, 3-1. On this glorious Sunday afternoon, the two managers are marching to home plate, and they're turning in their lineup cards. Here is the starting lineup for the Burlington Bees, a record of 27-26, a game above 500, and in third place in the Western Division first half standings, third behind Kane County and Peoria. Leading off for Burlington is Josh Johnson at second base. Valentino Arce getting his first start in the series. Arce, A-R-C-E, is the shortstop. Jeremy Jerschel will play third base, and Jerschel will be at bat third for the Bees. Hitting cleanup is Miguel Vega at first base. Burlington's designated hitter bats fifth. That's Brady Everett. Hitting sixth in right field, Carlos Arroyo. For the Bees in center field, he has 5 hits in this series. Jose Duarte batting seventh. Hitting eighth is J.P. Lowen, the catcher, and batting ninth in left field for the Bees, Ethan Santana. On the hill, as you heard from Burlington's play-by-play voice, Randy Wayhofer, one of the best pitchers in the league, Matt Nijinsky. Nijinsky spells his last name K-N-I-G-I-N-Y-Z-K-Y. Nijinsky's from Canada, and he went to 3 different colleges here in the States. Lake City, Florida Community College, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, and Miami, Oklahoma, then received his bachelor's degree of science from High Point University in North Carolina. Nijinsky is 6-2 with 2.82 ERA, the league hitting .225 against the 23-year-old right-hander who's making his 12th start of the year. He's won his last 4 starts. As always, Allen Motor Company is proud to present the Kernels starting lineup. Allen's is open until 9 o'clock tomorrow, and they have a fabulous offer that they'd like to share with you so that you'll come out and visit them at their campus on I-380 and Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. Leading off for the Kernels and the fabulous offer from Allen Motor Company, your first year's maintenance free on Allen Motor Company, free if you buy now a 2005 Buick LeSabre, a 2005 Buick Century, or a 2006 Buick Rendezvous. Your first year's maintenance is free at Allen Motor Company when you buy any of those 3 models now. You can also visit Allen's online, www.allenmotor.com. Allen's is open late until 9 o'clock tomorrow evening. Here's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Brad Kuhn in center field leading off. He's tied for the league lead in steals with 17. Batting second is Heinle Stacia, and Heinle will be the Kernel shortstop today. Hitting third at third base in the Allen Motor Company order is Dallas Morris. The Kernel cleanup batter, Jordan Renz, leads the team in home runs and RBIs. Renz in right, that's cleanup. Hitting fifth for the Kernels, the designated hitter, Flint Whipke. Mark Trumbo will be at first base and hit sixth. Batting seventh and catching in the Allen Motor Company order is Brett Martinez. Hitting eighth, seeing his first action in this series, Tyler Johnson. Tyler Johnson making his Kernel debut at home this afternoon for the Kernels. And batting ninth at second base, Marco Albano. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, making his 12th start of the year, Nick Adenhart, 19-year-old Kernel right-hander, 7-1, a 1.36 ERA. Adenhart leads the league in innings pitched, 17 2/3. Nick has the second lowest earned run average in the league, 1.36. That's the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup. Let's join public address announcer Andy Pantini as he introduces our national anthem singers after this important celebratory word from Wendy's.
In wartime and in peacetime, Wendy's will always support our troops. Please stand for your national anthem to honor all those who work to preserve the freedoms we all enjoy.
Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem is being performed by singers from Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust.
Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust, a chorale group singing the Star-Spangled Banner. 80 degrees, our game time temperatures. Our game time temperature is 80 degrees. And the members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team are sprinting off the field. They'll be remembering this day for a long time, the members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team. Let's reset the Kernels for you. Well, first of all, let's introduce our umpires. Our umpires are sponsored by Anderson and Brown Eye Care. Anderson and Brown Eye Care is a full-service comprehensive eye care center on Boyson Road in Hiawatha. That makes it easy in and easy out. Wheelchair-accessible building and exam rooms at Anderson and Brown Eye Care, evening and Saturday hours for your convenience. And Anderson and Brown Eye Care, your full-service comprehensive eye care center, proud to sponsor the umpires. Things are coming into focus at Anderson and Brown Eye Care. The Kernels defensively have Tyler Johnson in left, Brad Kuhn in center, and Jordan Renz in right. Dallas Morris at third, Heinley Statius the shortstop, Marco Albano at second, and the first baseman is Mark Trumbo, a battery of Nick Adenhart and Brett Martinez. What a beautiful afternoon we have. Andy Pantini, our official scorer, or our public address announcer this afternoon, announced the game time temperature of 71, and my gauge here in the press box is a little bit off in terms of its accuracy. For some reason, my gauge is indicating a little bit warmer than that, but we'll double check it here as Brett Martinez fires it down. Yes, I have 79 degrees, but I'm going to go with Andy's assessment, 71 degrees. Perfect Game presented 1,000 set of Kernel baseball cards to the fans that came in this afternoon, and the Kernels signed their autograph to those Perfect Game baseball cards. We'll see Bert Zirk this afternoon, and we're glad you're alongside here. This is Kernel Baseball on ESPN Radio 1600. You're in the zone. KCRG Cedar Rapids. Josh Johnson, the first batter for the visiting Bees, who are wearing their royal blue tops this afternoon with gold numbers, and ball one is low to Josh Johnson. Josh has the best on-base percentage in the Midwest League, and a fastball from Nick Adenhart evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike to Josh Johnson. Johnson is a switch hitter batting left, and a fastball zips just inside and high to Josh for ball 2. We're just underway here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it's great to have you along with us on this gorgeous Sunday afternoon. A ground ball up the middle underneath Nick Adenhart's glove is a base hit for Josh Johnson. Josh was 0 for 4 last night, but he slapped it hard through the middle. Nick Adenhart reached down but couldn't get a glove on it, and Josh Johnson is aboard as the leadoff batter for the visiting Bees here this afternoon. Brad Kuhn got the ball back into the infield. 1 on, nobody out for Burlington. And the batter is Valentino Arce, A-R-C-E. Arce is from Panama. He hasn't played yet in this series. Adenhart's first pitch is bunted foul, dribbled just to the right of the feet of catcher Brett Martinez for strike 1. Valentino Arce, 5'10", 170 from Panama, is hitting 198. No homers, 10 RBIs as Nick Adenhart comes set. The 0-1. Grounded to third, a foul ball as Dallas Morris backhanded it in front of the base and then pegged it across the diamond, but it was foul ball, strike 2 to Valentino Arce. Josh Johnson with the leadoff single here in the top of the first inning for the Bees. Josh has 6 steals. He's been caught 5 times. And Burlington is third in the league with 66 stolen bases. At bouncer to short, I don't think the Kernels will get 2. In fact, the only play for Heinley Statia is to charge the high chopper and throw out the batter, Valentin Arce. That's exactly what Heinley did, and down to second goes Josh Johnson. This is a premier billing of 2 great right-handers in the Midwest League, 19-year-old Nick Adenhart and 23-year-old Matt Naginski. Naginski's won his last 4 starts, giving up just 5 runs in 27 1/3 innings. Nick Adenhart, 7-1 for the Kernels, and no decision in his last start Tuesday. And the first pitch to Jeremy Jerschel hits Jerschel, and Jeremy Jerschel is aboard as Nick Adenhart's curveball just floated in and nipped the left shoulder of the right-handed batter, Jeremy Jerschel. And it's first and second, 1 out for Miguel Vega. Nick Adenhart, 7 innings pitched last Tuesday night in Clinton, a no decision and a Colonel hard-fought 5-4-13 inning triumph. Here's a throw to second. It gets by the second baseman into center, and that's an error on Nick Adenhart. Both runners move up. So Josh Johnson goes to third, Jeremy Jerschel to second on a Nick Adenhart throwing error. Nick threw it low, and it skipped past Marco Albano into center field. Josh Johnson, as the ball laid in center, got up out of his slide and then scurried to third, and Jerschel followed suit. Jeremy hustled into second. So Nick Adenhart has his work cut out for him now. Second and third, one out, and the cleanup batter, Miguel Vega, waiting to see the first pitch. Vega's a right-handed batter. Here's a ground ball up the middle, and Stacia can't get it. One run is in. Here comes Jerschel. The throw home by Kuhn is not in time. Sliding in feet first safely to make it 2-0 Burlington is Jeremy Jerschel. Miguel Vega grounded it up the middle, and a diving effort by Heinle Stacia. Heinle could not knock it down. It's a big 2-run single for Miguel Vega here in the top of the first inning, and the Bees lead it 2-0. We can't let Burlington get too far ahead this afternoon. On the throw home, Miguel Vega took second base. It was a close play. Brad Kuhn made a very good throw home, and sliding in safely with the second run behind Josh Johnson was Jeremy Jerschel. A 2-run single by Miguel Vega. He leads the Bees now with 24 RBIs. He's at second for Brady Everett. And a curve is a strike called from Nick Adenhart. Well, the Kernels, with their best pitcher on the hill, have fallen behind 2-0 here in the top of the first inning. Brady Everett, right-handed batter, bounces it foul to the on-deck hitter, Carlos Arroyo. We're facing a pitcher this afternoon, Matt Nijinsky, who has allowed only 5 runs in his last 27 1/3, so to give up 2 here in the very first inning has really put a damper on the Colonel's spirits. Brady Everett takes a changeup in the dirt. What a block by Brett Martinez to prevent Miguel Vega from going to third base. 3 of the first 4 Bs have reached here. Mr. Shucks is trying to get the crowd going, but he's in the wrong section. The third base section above the B dugout is full of Burlington fans. They brought a bus here this afternoon. A curve is bounced to third. Behind the bag, Dallas Morris's long throw gets the batter. Trotting over to third is Miguel Vega. 2 gone here in the Burlington first inning as Brady Everett bounces out to third baseman Dallas Morris. The batter is Carlos Arroyo. Big crowd here on hand here this afternoon. Lovely afternoon, 80 degrees, our game time temperature. Carlos Arroyo batting .248, and he backs away from a fastball, low, ball 1. Arroyo reached on an infield single and scored an unearned run in the B 2-run second inning last night. Big gap in right center for Carlos Arroyo. Ground ball fair past third. Burlington leads it 3-0. Arroyo rounds first and holds on as Tyler Johnson gets it back in. Carlos Arroyo tomahawked it fair past third, fair by about 2 inches past the diving Dallas Morris. And what we thought would be a terrific pitching duel is turned sour for the Kernels as Burlington leads it 3-0 here in the first inning. Well, that's usually the case when you expect a 0-0 game. It's 3-0 Burlington here in the top of the first. I don't think the Kernels and Nick Adenhart yet know what hit them. Carlos Arroyo grounds it sharply, just inside the base at third, down the left field line for a big 2-out RBI single. And here's Jose Duarte taking low for ball 1. So Nick Adenhart has really struggled here in the first inning. In Adenhart's defense, only 1 ball has been hit hard. Jose Duarte is 5 for 9 in this series. A big Uncle Charlie, a dandy, evens the count to Duarte 1-1. If you'd have told me before this afternoon's game that 7 Burlington Bees would bat and that they'd score 3 runs off Nick Adenhart, I'd have never believed you. Here's a swing and a miss, strike 2 on Duarte. Jose's a right-handed batter, slightly built, 5'9", 190. but he has been a menace to the Kernels in this series, 5 for 9. Had a run-scoring double in the B 2-run second yesterday. Here's a swing and a miss. That ends the inning. Carlos Arroyo was running, but it doesn't matter as Jose Duarte fans. In the first inning for the Kernels, or for the Bees, 3 runs on 3 hits. A hit batter, 1 Kernel error, and the Bees leave 1 man aboard. The Kernels have to rally against the Bees' best pitcher this afternoon, 23-year-old right-hander Matt Naginski. After 1 half inning, the Bees 3, the Kernels coming to bat. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes.
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family's blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help. With a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
3-0 Bees as the Kernel leadoff batter will start things here in the bottom of the first. That's Brad Kuhn. Brad's batting .253 on the year. No homers, 16 RBIs. Tied for the league lead in steals with 17. Brad, a left-handed batter, to face 23-year-old Matt Naginski. And Naginski fires a strike call. Matt is 6-2, a right-hander. He's allowed only 56 hits in 70 in the third innings. The 0-1 to Brad. A fastball high, and it's 1-1. Kuhn squared the bunt and took it for ball 1. Kuhn, Stacia, Dallas, Morris here in the Kernel first inning. The 1-1. And that's a change-up on the outside corner for strike 2 to Brad. Burlington's pitching is plenty good. Their team ERA, 2.99, the third lowest in the Midwest League. The Kernel pitching staff is fourth lowest in the league. Brad fouls one straight back and stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. What a delightful Sunday afternoon we have. We'll be visiting a little bit later this afternoon with Jennifer Koopman from the American Heart Association about the big fitness fair, the Family Fitness Exposition here. Brad takes high, ball 2. Way off the line at third for the Bees is Heinley, a switch hitter. Singled in the first to put Kernel runners at first and second with nobody out, but then the Bees starter, Michael Penn, got Flint Whipke to hit into a double play and retired Jordan Renz on a grounder to third, and the Kernels did not score last night despite in the first inning having runners at first and second and nobody out. Ball 1 high and away to Heinley Stacia. Now a fastball on the outside corner is strike 1. Heinley's batting .286, highest average on the Kernel team. No home runs, 11 RBIs. Stacia leads the club with 16 doubles. And Matt Naginski mixes low for ball 2. It's hard for me to say Naginski. I always am about to say Naginski, but it's a hard G. Here's a line drive, and it's caught at second base by Josh Johnson. Wow, did Heinley Stacia ever pulverize that pitch and he drilled it right at Josh Johnson, the second baseman. Highly hit it so hard, it almost knocked over Josh Johnson. Now here's Dallas Morris. A lot of the kids here, as every Colonel comes to bat, they rifle through their perfect game Colonel baseball card set, and they find the batter. That's what my good friend Logan Clark is doing. He's shuffling through his baseball cards, and he's looking for Dallas Morris. Logan got the autograph of 6 or 7 Colonel ball players on those perfect game baseball cards, and we'll head down later this season to the Colonel Clubhouse and get the rest of them autographed for him. Here's a high fly ball into right. Carlos Arroyo has to come in 2 steps to glove it. Dallas Morris flies to right. The Colonels go 1-2-3-0 across in the bottom of the first inning. And after one on this lovely Sunday afternoon, Burlington holds a 3-0 lead over the Colonels. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared in Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes
What do I get at Cost Cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
more of what you're looking for. Just go
Burlington shocked this crowd and shocked myself as they scored 3 in the first inning off Colonel starter Nick Adenhart. It'll be J.P. Lowen, the number 8 hitter, Ethan Santana, and then the top of the order for the Bees, who lead it 3-0. We'll be here again tomorrow. $1 Dog Monday. Hot dogs are only $1 tomorrow. And the gates open at 6, a 7 o'clock start. You'll hear it right here on KCRG. The Bees wearing their royal blue batting practice tops this afternoon with gold numbers, gray pants, and royal blue socks and shoes. Nick Adenhart, the Colonel right-hander, misses high for ball 1. To J.P. Lowen. Lowen's batting .214. 2 homers, 17 RBIs. JP's a left-handed hitting catcher, and Nick Adenhart delivers way high and outside, ball 2. J.P. Lowen is from the University of Kentucky. That's in Lexington, Kentucky. And he first went to Chipola Junior College down in Marietta, Georgia. The 2-0 from Nick. Fastball, and it's lashed into shallow left, and it drops in front of Tyler Johnson. It skips by Johnson. That'll be an error on Tyler, and racing to second is J.P. Lowen. Well, Tyler Johnson got in between in his thoughts. He didn't know whether to come in and try to make a shoestring catch on that one, and he laid back, and the ball bounced one hop and then skipped by him to the wall. J.P. Lowen reaches on a single and an error by the Colonel left fielder, and that is the second error committed by the Colonels. And this is a preparation lapse by the Colonels, not the coaching staff. The coaching staff had the Colonels here at 10:30 or 11 o'clock this morning to get ready for this game. A curve in the dirt, and it's blocked by Brett Martinez. We're just playing very flat right now, and Burlington is taking advantage of it. Mr. Shucks is trying to get this crowd going. If he can't, hopefully Bird Zirk will. There's an Uncle Charlie, and it's low, and it's 2-0 now to Ethan Santana. 3-0 Bees. We're in the top of the second inning. Santana took over in left field in the ninth inning in the Burlington 3-1 win last night. Fastball is down and inside, and Nick Adenhart just isn't himself. He's rushing his delivery, and I think that first inning has really shaken the 19-year-old Colonel up a little bit in terms of his rhythm, his confidence. Adenhart comes set, and Nick delivers to Santana. And that's a strike for strike one. Burlington's had worse problems on offense than the Kernels have had. The Bees are hitting a lowly .227, second to last in the Midwest League. And ball four, high and outside, a fastball. The number 8 and 9 hitters have reached for the Bees here in the second inning. Let's see if Kernan Ronan, yes, the Colonel pitching coach, Kernan Ronan, is going to have a Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Nick Adenhart. Everyone says you've got a wonderful heart. Well, Mercy Medical Center can help you keep it that way with a $35 heart-to-heart screening. It's quick, easy, and convenient, and that $35 heart-to-heart screening could save your life. Call Mercy Medical Center at 398-6821. That's 398-6821, and they'll take care of you with a $35 heart-to-heart screening. Kernan Ronan has completed his Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Nick Adenhart. And let's see if Jim Gabella, the outstanding third-year manager of the Bees, has Josh Johnson bunting here. Mark Trumbo is coming in from first base to have a word with Nick Adenhart about what to do in case Josh Johnson tries to bunt his way on. Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill will be along in a little bit during the middle innings to keep us abreast on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And we'll also have here's a throw to second, and it's wild into center field. The runner will try for third. Kuhn throws to second. That runner's safe. The second wild throw by Colonel starter Nick Adenhart. And, boy, we wish we could reverse the clock and start this game over. The second throwing error by the Colonel's 7-game winner, and he's only proving that he's human. We've been spoiled by Nick Adenhart's terrific, consistent performances this year. He's just not himself this afternoon as he throws one into center field, and now no need for a bunt by Josh Johnson. He can swing away. Second and third, nobody out. And a fastball in the dirt, ball one. So things not going the Colonel way here in the early going. That's for sure. Josh Johnson got the 2-run first inning started with a base hit, and he loops a base hit into left center. Cut off by Tyler Johnson. 1 run is in. Tyler misses the cutoff man, and backing up the play is catcher Brett Martinez, and I haven't seen the Kernels this ill-prepared to play really all season long. Our ball club looks just very, very rotten right now. J.P. Lowen scored on the base hit to left by Josh Johnson to make it 3-0 Burlington. Then Tyler Johnson's throw went between the legs of cutoff man Dallas Morris at third and almost got by Brett Martinez, the catcher. Holding it first with an RBI single is Josh Johnson. On to third went Ethan Santana. First and third, nobody out. And Burlington is taking it to the Kernels. They now lead it 4-0. And the batter is Valentino Arce. And he strokes the first pitch foul off to the right, strike one. Well, just what we thought was going to be the case, the scenario has been reversed. We thought this would be a tremendous pitching duel between Nick Adenhart and right-hander Matt Naginski for the Bees, but the Bees have stormed out to a 4-0 lead here in the top. We're only in the top of the second inning, and a strike is called to right-handed hitting Valentino Arce, who bounced out to short in the first inning. Breaking pitch, and Arce chops this one foul to the Bee third base dugout, strike two. What a gorgeous Sunday afternoon it is. In fact, this may be the nicest day we've had all season to play. A throw to first, wild throw! Wild throw! 1 run is in to make it 5-0 Bees. The runner going from second to third falls and gets back to second just in time. Nick Adenhart has committed his third throwing error of the game. Ethan Santana scores from third. Josh Johnson goes to second. And how often does a pitcher have 3 errors in the first 2 innings? Nick Adenhart is just coming unraveled, and he's only 19 years old. He's been so sensational this season that we sure understand that he's just suffering from a bad day. Every one of us has had a bad day before, and Nick's having his here today so far. A breaking pitch is high, and it's 1-2 to Valentino Arce. Still nobody out in the Burlington second inning. Here's a little looper into shallow center. It's a base hit over the head of Marco Albano. Going to third without a play is Josh Johnson. A Texas League single off the 198 batter's fist, just out of the reach of Marco Albano. And, boy, you wish you could just call timeout, turn the clock back an hour, and start all over. First and third, nobody out for the Bees, and the Kernels might have to get somebody up in their bullpen. Both Mark Trumbo and Brett Martinez are out to the mound to try to lend some psychological support to the beleaguered Colonel 19-year-old right-hander Nick Adenhart. He just has not had to go through something like this in his 7-1 season. Every possible thing that could go wrong, including 3 errant pickoff throws by the Colonel right-hander, has gone wrong. So this will be a learning experience for Nick Adenhart. The batter is Jeremy Jerschel. Fastball high, ball 1 to the right-handed batter, who was hit by a pitch and scored in the B 3-run first inning. I don't think the Kernels know yet what has hit them in this game. Jerschel pops it high in the air. Marco Albano shading his eyes from the bright sun. The second baseman drifting to his left, puts it away for the first out of the inning. Jeremy Jerschel pops to second. 1 gone here in the B second inning. 5-0 Burlington. I'm telling you, it's a good thing Bird Zirk is here this afternoon, because we need to liven our crowd up a little bit. I know it's a lazy, sunny Sunday afternoon. Here's a high drive into center. Brad Kuhn going way back, and he catches it in front of the warning track for the second out of the inning. It's a sacrifice fly to deep center off the bat of Miguel Vega, scoring Josh Johnson, the 3rd run of the second inning, and Burlington now leads it 6-0. 6-0 Bees here in the second inning. Miguel Vega hit it so high and deep to center, for a moment I didn't think Brad Kuhn was going to be able to catch it. But Brad, with his glasses down, went all the way back in front of the warning track, 385 feet away, and made the play. Josh Johnson could have crawled home from third. That's how deep Vega hit it to straightaway center. A fastball in for a strike called to Brady Everett. 3 runs for the Bees here in the second inning, adding to their 3-run first inning. They now are ahead 6-0. A throw to first, and the runner gets back. And you hate to hear Bronx cheers by a crowd for a kid who's 19 years old and has won 7 games, but some of the Colonel crowd not too kind to Nick Adenhart. The runner goes, hit-and-run single, slapped into right field, off the bat of Brady Everett. On to third goes Valentino Arce, and it's first and third, 2 out. That base hit by Brady Everett is the 7th in an inning and 2/3 off the Colonel right-hander, Nick Adenhart. Well, we're going to bring in Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill. Luvita, we've got to liven things up a little bit here, and you're the perfect person to do it. I wanted you to cite some of the groups that are here this afternoon, Luvita. We have a good crowd on hand. It's just that, do you agree with me that it's just very, very quiet here this afternoon so far?
It does seem really quiet here tonight, John. Or this afternoon.
I think Bird Zirk will bring here's a line drive off Adenhart's glove to short, and it's a base hit to make it 7-0. Carlos Arroyo almost undressed Nick Adenhart with a line shot back into Nick's ribs or his torso. I think he's all right. Valentino Arce scores to make it 7-0. Brady Everett goes to second, and the 9th man to bat here in the B 4-run second inning will be Jose Duarte. Well, Nick Adenhart's taking his lumps both mentally and physically here this afternoon, and you have to credit the Bees. They were the team ready to play this afternoon. They lead it 7-0. Well, Luvita Hill, if Nick Adenhart's able to continue in this game, it'll be, we hope he can, as that line drive struck him somewhere in the midsection. He's taking a couple of test trials, and why don't we let the listeners know, first of all, Luvita, who's out in left field on that picnic deck, the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion?
In our Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, we have Union Station, we have Carousel Motors, and Wendling Quarries.
They all look like they're having a great time, but they sure look like they're in a picnic posture, not a baseball mindset.
Maybe they're enjoying our wonderful food here.
Oh, I'm sure they are. They are not enjoying what the Bees are doing to the Kernels. The Bees are swarming, stinging, and mauling the Kernels 7-0 here in the second inning. Here's a swing and a miss on Jose. A throw to first, and it's another Kernel error. Brett Martinez throwing to first. It hit the runner. It goes into the Kernel dugout. A run will score to make it 8-0. This is getting flat out embarrassing. 8-0 as Brett Martinez is charged with the throwing error. His throw to first hit Carlos Arroyo, and that's the second Kernel error, the third Kernel error of the inning. Errors on the left fielder, pitcher, and catcher, and I'll tell you, I can't remember a Kernel team being this unprepared and this mentally weak, and that's not a criticism, it's just the honest observation. Our ball club has just looked horrible here this afternoon. We've been spoiled because we've been in every game this year. This just happens to be the exception. The 1-1 to Jose Duarte. Ground ball up the middle. That's a base hit, and it's 9-0 Burlington. Burlington leads it, 8-0. No, 9-0. A base hit up the middle by Jose Duarte makes it 9-0 Burlington. Wow. The Kernels still don't know what has hit them. 6 runs scored in this inning. The man who got it all started now batting again, J.P. Lowen. You could hear a pin drop here at the ballpark. The crowd is just absolutely stunned. Usually this is what happens when you expect a good pitching duel. It becomes, oh, here's a pitch in the dirt off Brett Martinez's shin guards. A wild pitch and down to second goes Jose Duarte. Well, I'll say this, Luvita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant. Bobby Magianis is as professional, courteous, and mild-mannered as a human being as you'll ever be around. But I'd hate to be in the Colonel dugout when we finally get the last out in this inning. Bobby, I think, will just give it to the guys.
I don't know. If that's what's going to make them perform a little bit better, I think that's what he might do.
The ball club just looks really out of sync right now. 9-0 Burlington. They've scored 6 runs on 6 hits here in the second inning. The Kernels have made 3 errors. 1-1 to J.P. Lowen. Swing and a miss on a changeup, strike 2. Boy, oh boy, this is some punishment the Bees are handing out this afternoon. We're only in the second inning, and it's 9-0 Burlington. The 1-2. Line foul onto the grass slope seating berm. Look out. Everybody okay down there? Now Lowen, who's in the hole 1 and 2, waits and loops it to shortstop. Heinley stations there in shallow left. Heinley has it. Listen to the crowd cheer as the Kernels get out finally of the 6-run B second inning. 6 runs for Burlington on 6 hits, 3 Kernel errors. 10 men came to the plate, and the Kernels leave, or the Bees rather leave, 1 man on. They've stranded a pair. Well, we've been waiting for Bird Zirk. Here he is, and hopefully he can make a bad situation a little bit better. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, the Kernels trail the Bees 9-0. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
With Spain comes a sound we're all familiar with, lawnmowers. The Solid Waste and Recycling Department encourages you to mulch your grass this year, though instead of bag. It's a practice known as grass cycling. Why grass cycling? Well, it saves time because you don't have to rake or bag your grass clippings. But it also saves money because those clippings contain essential nutrients, reducing your need for expensive fertilizers. Best of all, grass cycling helps to save landfill space. Do your part. Grass cycle. This message from the Solid Waste and Recycling Department.
Did you know that June is Perennial Gardening Month? Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant expert with the best selection in town. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. From our selection of quality perennials, Peck's will help you select the right perennials for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll down our many acres of plants and flowers. Stop by to visit the plant people at Peck's as you start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck's, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping, at the corner of Blair Ferry and Edward Road Northeast.
That's Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill. Luvita, after that message from Peck's, Bird Zirk is taking the Burlington third baseman's glove. Describe what's happening.
Bird Zirk is on a four-wheeler or an all-terrain vehicle, as some might recognize it, and he's just going out on the outfield
with the third
baseman's mitt.
Oh, now I think he's going to bring it back. Oh, that's good. The third.
Oh, and he throws it back at him.
He threw it out of the ballpark.
Oh, no.
Bird Zirk has launched Burlington B third baseman Jeremy Jerschel's glove out of the ballpark. And now the Burlington Bat Boy is going to have to give Jerschel a replacement glove. My gosh, Bird Zirk.
That's Bird Zirk.
Wow.
Maybe that'll get the crowd riled up.
It better, Luvita, and maybe with Jerschel having to use his backup glove, he'll make an error, and the Kernels will get back into this game.
Johnson's run is earned. Arce's run is earned. Everett's run is unearned.
9-0 Bees. Matt Naginski, who's won his last four, has been given a lead of epic proportions. 3 in the first for the Bees, 6 in the second, and they lead it 9-0. Here's Jordan Renz to lead off. And a big curveball is in for strike one call to Jordan Renz. Chris Howell is warming up in the Colonel bullpen. He'll likely take over for the Colonel starter, Nick Adenhart. Here's a deep drive to left. Goodbye! Just to the right of the Whirling Waters, Westdale Mall, Mix 96.5 FM Hot Tub. Jordan Renz launches his second of the series. It's Jordan's team high 12th of the year, and it cuts the Bee lead to 9-1 here in the second inning. Jordan Renz, number 12, and that's another $25 from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. PRC has now donated $850 to the Haycap Food Reservoir. Jordan Renz, with his 12th of the year, leading off here in the second inning. Now Flint Whipke takes the ball. Strike one outside, corner to Flint Whipke. 9-1 Burlington. We're in the top of the second inning. Luvita Hill, my little brother Logan Clark, had an interesting observation about what might happen to that Jordan Renz home run ball.
Yes, he did. He asked me what happens to the ball. Did we go get it? Nope. I told him that sometimes kids walk down the street and pick them up.
That's right. Here's a deep drive to left by Whipke. Going back. It's over the left fielder head. And Ethan Santana gets it back in. Flint Whipke drills a double over the head of Ethan Santana. And the Kernels are on a comeback march. Runner at second. Nobody out. 9-1 Bees.
I say Bird Zirk might have helped us out a little bit.
I would say so, Luvita. The Kernels look like a completely different team here in the home half of the second inning. Still a long, arduous, steep mountain to climb, trailing 9-1, with Nick Adenhart, our best pitcher, probably going to be lifted after working just 2 innings this afternoon. But the Kernels are off to an impressive start here in this second inning. A leadoff homer by Renz, followed by a double hit like a rocket over Ethan Santana's head in left by Flint Whipke. Now a breaking pitch to Mark Trumbo is strike one called. 9-1 Burlington. We're in the bottom of the second inning. Mark Trumbo waiting for the 0-1 pitch. From Matt Naginski, and it's inside for ball one. Trumbo, the number 6 hitter in the Allen Motor Company order, is batting 189, 7 home runs, 23 driven in. Mark swings hard on a curve and misses strike two. Jordan Renz' leadoff home run here in the second, his 12th of the season. Mark on the 1-2 delivery, belts it deep to left, way back at the wall! Adios! Two-run homer for Mark Trumbo onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, and the Kernels now trail in the second inning 9-3. Mark Trumbo belts number 8 of the year with Flint Whipke aboard, and the Kernels are indeed on the comeback trail. Now trailing in the second inning, 9-3. A 1-2 pitch, and Mark Trumbo launched it onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Second home run in the inning, and the Kernels have touched up Matt Naginski for 3. Nobody out here in the second inning, and it's now a 9-3 Burlington lead. And marching out to the hill is the B pitching coach, Steve Luber. Some pitching duel, huh? 9-3 Burlington here in the second inning. Two of the best pitchers in the Midwest League. Nick Adenhart, likely knocked out after 2 innings. Matt Naginski, who is virtually unhittable in his last 4 starts. Ball one is taken outside by Brett Martinez. 9-3 Bs here in the second inning. A 2-run blast by Trumbo after a Jordan Renz leadoff homer here in the second inning. Brett Martinez batting 204. Rips one to third, backhanded at third. Jeremy Jerschel throws across the diamond for the first out of the inning. Brett Martinez hit it right on the button, but lines out on one hop to third base. Here's Tyler Johnson. My little brother Logan Clark is putting his autographed Colonel cards in safekeeping. Logan brought his wallet here today, and he's putting the cards that he had autographed before the game in his wallet. Tyler Johnson takes a strike called. A pitch goes over the head of Tyler Johnson, and that gets the crowd revved up. 1 ball, 1 strike to Tyler, who in 5 games is batting .095. Here's the 1-1. Naginski's 1-1, a curve outside. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, you told us who's enjoying the action out on the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. Who's bathing in the sun on the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Colonel first base dugout?
On the Miller Mezzanine Terrace, we have Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust. They seem to brought a lot of people.
They do, Luvita. They sang the national anthem before the game.
Yes, they did. They were good.
The 3-1 to Tyler. Ball 4. Tyler Johnson walks, and it's a runner at first with 1 away. 9-3 in favor of Burlington. Luvita, is anybody sharing the Miller Mezzanine Terrace with Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust?
No, there is no one. That's all Cedar Rapids Bank and Trust over there that you see.
Anybody have a pregame picnic?
Yes, we had some very, very important people at our pregame picnic today. We had the Iowa City school bus drivers.
Wow. You're right. Very important folks. Marco Albano at the plate for the first time today, and the B right-hander delivers a strike called on the outside corner. The B outfield plays Albano straight away. Marco takes a healthy hack and fouls it straight back, strike two. Marco Albano is doing something I always dreamed about as a kid, Luvita. You know how, and I'm not stereotyping, but you know how sometimes little girls grow up seeing older girls or women and want to emulate something they might use as far as makeup or style or fashion?
Yes, I do, John.
Here's a base hit into right center by Marco Albano, speeding around second. Tyler Johnson, the throw to third, not in time. Albano to second, out at second base. Oh, Marco Albano thrown out at second base. A very poor base running decision by the Kernels. Tyler Johnson at third. It went 8-5-4 at second base. 8-5-4. Marco Albano thrown out. Center fielder to third baseman. Jeremy Jerschel to the second baseman. Josh Johnson. Let's see if the Kernels can overcome that poor base running decision. We should have runners at first and third, one out, but instead a runner at third with two out, and Brad Kuhn at the plate. Brad loops it into shallow center. It'll be caught by Jose Duarte. Duarte glasses down, trots in, puts it away. In the second inning, the Kernels strike for 3 runs on 4 hits. There were no B errors, and the Kernels leave, 1 man aboard. We go to the third inning, and we'll pick up on that thought I left dangling with Luvita about, well, I'll just tell you, Luvita, I always wanted as a kid to be able to wear eye black like Marco Albano has under his eyes. That eye black helps the sunshine keep the sun out of the player's eyes, and you can take a look through the binoculars and see what I'm talking about, to put eye black underneath your eyes. We go to the top of the third inning, and Burlington leads the Kernels 9-3. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Diet Pepsi is taking you to the movies. All kinds of movies, like horror films.
Hey, there's a guy with a hockey mask outside. Let's go see what he wants. Okay.
Sci-fi films.
Gentlemen, we're in luck. Those aliens speak American.
Kung Fu movies.
Your English voiceover. Look. Terrible. Taste my nunchucks.
No.
Teen flicks.
I am so ugly. Well, you'd be hot if you ditched your glasses and your nerdy side ponytail. Oh, my gosh. I am hot.
Foreign films.
Les French farces, French toast.
Les baguettes, les bougelets.
Les croissants.
Crime films. So, did you find anything?
Only this computer disc labeled totally incriminating evidence.
Well, keep looking.
Introducing the Diet Pepsi box office promotion. Find a code in specially marked Diet Pepsi packages. Collect and enter codes at dietpepsiboxoffice.com to redeem for a movie ticket, even to action movies.
Well, the bad guy's dead. I'll just turn my back. I can't believe you fell for that.
Light, crisp, refreshing Diet Pepsi.
Subject to official rules, void where prohibited. And 63006. Multiple purchases required. See website for redemption details.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen. Kernel starter Nick Adenhart goes 2 innings, surrenders 9 runs. We'll have to double-check and see how many of the 9 were earned. On 9 hits, Nick struck out 1, walked 1, and hit a batter. A U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen has right-hander Chris Howell taking over. And a foul off to the left. Now a shallow fly into left field, and Tyler Johnson comes on to make the one-handed catch. Ethan Santana, the first man up against Chris Howell, and Ethan flies to left, 1 away. Josh Johnson is 2 for 2 with an RBI and 2 runs scored. 9-3 Burlington. We're in the top of the third inning. Whenever you expect a pitching duel, you usually get the opposite, and that's what we have here this afternoon. Chris Howell's first pitch is a strike call to the switch hitter. Howell from the University of Tennessee, signed by the Angels as a non-drafted free agent after he pitched for the Volunteers in the College World Series last year in Omaha. Ball one misses low from Chris Howell. Chris last pitched Tuesday in Clinton. He got the save in the Kernel 13 inning, 5-4 victory at Alliant Energy Field. Chris Howell. We'll be welcoming our guests here in just a little bit. Jennifer Koopman from the American Heart Association and Teresa Kurtz from Keeping Lynn County Clean. Ooh, a pitch just missed outside. The crowd wanted strike three called, but didn't get it from the plate umpire. Now a hard hit ball to short. Heinle Stacia gobbles it up and pegs to first in time. Chris Howell gets Josh Johnson on a ground ball to short, and Chris Howell, in relief of starter Nick Adenhart, will try to retire the Bees in order here in the top of the third inning. Burlington scored 3 in the first and then 6 in the second inning, sending 10 men to the plate. The Kernels have made 5 errors this afternoon. 1 in the first and 4 in the second inning. 4 errors made by the Kernels in the second inning. Chris Howell's first pitch is taken at the knees for strike one. It's 1-1 to Valentino Arce. And now a curve low and outside for ball 2. 2 gone, bases empty here in the top of the third inning, 9-3 Burlington. Here's a little number foul to the on-deck hitter, Jeremy Jerschel. This crowd is still getting settled in. What a beautiful Sunday afternoon we have here at the ballpark. Just gorgeous. Curve and a line drive to Stacia. Heinle has that one-hop bullet, throws low. What a dig by Mark Trumbo. Oh, did Stacia and Trumbo help each other? Stacia helped the Kernels by making a fabulous play on a hard one-hopper to short, and then he threw in the dirt, but Mark Trumbo dug it out, and Chris Howell retires Burlington in order in the top of the third inning. 1-2-3-0 across. After 2.5, the Bees on top, 9-3, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, the voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Kernel-trained physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kernels' parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players.
Alongside is Colonel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill. And Luvita, we've got to have you describe what Bird Zirk, our entertainer, is doing now with the plate umpire.
Well, first Bird Zirk was messing with him and taunting him, but now he's got the plate umpire dancing with him.
And they're doing a number I've never seen.
Some choreographed. Bird Zirk's good if he got the plate umpire to dance with him.
The plate umpire is boogieing with Bird Zirk like I've never seen. They're locking ankles and elbows, and Bird Zirk has danced his way. Listen to the crowd.
Oh, and the plate umpire is still dancing. Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. The plate umpire thrusting his hips forward.
Look at that. I didn't know he was so acrobatic.
The plate umpire did a flip. The plate umpire has done a backward flip. And how...
Now he's carrying Bird Zirk.
He is giving Bird Zirk a piggyback ride.
I think they are friends now.
When that plate umpire comes back on the field, they better give him a hand. I don't know how the plate umpire... Here he comes back. The plate umpire did a backward flip and danced with Berdzerk. It's 9-3 in favor of Burlington as the Kernels come to bat here in the bottom of the third inning against right-hander Matt Naginski. Heinle, a switch hitter batting left, and a fastball is on the outside corner for strike one. Well, so far, Levita, I would say Berdzerk and the Perfect Game USA baseball card set have been worth the price of admission.
I think they are, too. I would come if I weren't up here with you in the radio broadcast booth.
I'll tell you what. Berdzerk has been something.
I didn't know what Berdzerk was, but now I'm glad I know.
So am I. Ball two is low and outside to Heinle Stacia. We're in the bottom of the third inning. 9-3 Burlington. The Bees KO'd our stellar ace 19-year-old right-hander Nick Adenhart in just 2 innings this afternoon. Heinle Stacia reaches across the plate, swings and misses. 2-2 to Heinle. Heinle lined out to second his first time up. Here's a line drive hooking foul into the Colonel right field bullpen. Luvita Hill, you were with us on behalf of Toyota Financial Services, the Cedar Rapids Gazette, Culver's Frozen Custard and Butterburgers, and Bloomsbury Farm when we visited Polk Elementary School about a week and a half ago, and the player that went with us was Heinle Stacia. Do you know that my brother in the Big Brothers Big Sister program, Logan Clark, remembered exactly who Heinle was?
Did he really?
He looked at his baseball card and said, "Is that the guy that came to Polk School?"
That is impressive. He also said he remembered me from the school also. So
oh, that's great.
I think Logan has a really good memory.
Yes, he does. Here's a payoff pitch popped foul into the grass slope seating berm. Logan's going to enjoy... Oh, it hit a lady in the shoulder. Let's hope she's all right. In fact, Levita, let me get the binoculars. And the lady was carrying her son or daughter out of the way so that they wouldn't get hit, and it either hit the little girl in the shoulder. Here's a high fly ball into right center. Carlos Arroyo coming together with the center fielder, but it's Jose Duarte moving to his left who makes the play. One gone here in the third inning.
The little girl, it did tap a little girl, but she's fine. One of our ushers went to go check on her, and she's playing and talking to her.
Good. Thank you, Lupita. We have great news. I believe, Luvita, that you may introduce yourself to Jennifer Koopman. I believe this is Jennifer. It sure is. Jennifer Koopman is here from the American Heart Association. Here's Dallas Morris taking high for ball one. Logan, Bud, enjoy your time, and I'll see you up here in a couple or 3 innings. Dallas Morris ahead on the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Facing Matt Naginski. Here's a curve in for a strike. Luvita, thank you so much for greeting our guest, Jennifer Koopman from the American Heart Association.
Hi.
Jennifer, hello.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Well, thank you for this marvelous promotion that's unfolding on this gorgeous Sunday. Dallas Morris, who flew out to right to end the Colonel first, fouls a 1-1 pitch straight back. 2-1 to Dallas. We're in the bottom of the third inning, and Berdzerk is here. Baseball card sponsored by Perfect Game USA. The Bees lead at 9-3. Here's a line drive off the end of the bat into the right field corner. It falls fair. Tail is into the corner. Carlos Arroyo digs it out. Dallas Morris stops at second with a 1-out double. And that brings this big crowd alive. Dallas with his 9th double of the year. Jennifer, the other real attraction this afternoon, and we've looked forward to it. We've been talking about it the last 3 weeks since Jack Rader told us. A fitness fair or fitness exposition of sorts combining your organization, American Heart Association, St. Luke's, and Velocity Sports Performance. Could you let us know what's going on down below today?
There's many activities that the families can participate in, with the main message being getting up and moving and having a fit family. So there's display areas with hands-on activities. There's things that you can look at to get ideas on how to move more, how to eat better, and live a longer, stronger, healthier life.
Boy, is that a formula we all need to take note of. And I'm glad the education is going on down below on the concourse, right, Jennifer?
Right. On the concourse, there's tables set up with individuals that have various topics. There's blood pressure screenings. There's exercise activities where you can look at your strength and durability and stretching activities. There's some visuals where you can look at healthy food options and choices that maybe aren't so good that we all take part in.
Uh-oh.
That would be one of them, Krispy Kreme donuts. So they're okay, not on a regular basis, but on occasion I've had my fair share too. And it's what the message that we try to tell people is to make sure that you're not doing that on a regular basis.
Yes.
Everything in moderation. You know, in the world that we live in, it's hard to make those choices.
It is, and I'm glad that I countered the Krispy Kreme treats today with a couple of apples.
There you go.
You're absolutely right, Jennifer. The count has gone 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jordan Renz, who led the Kernels second off with his team-high 12th home run of the year. Runner at second, Dallas Morris, 1 away. Dallas was almost, well, here's the pitch to Jordan. A high drive to left, way out of here, but foul. On to 8th Avenue, Jordan Renz. Wow, over the Randy Keel-Hofmann's picnic pavilion, just to the wrong side of it. A long foul ball. Jordan returns to the plate, still in the hole, 1 ball, 2 strikes. It looked like the Bees had Dallas Morris picked off second. Josh Johnson scooted in behind Dallas. Dallas slipped getting back to second, but the pitcher, Matt Naginski, went ahead and hurled it home, and it was fouled down the left field line by Jordan Renz. Well, Jennifer, you're right. Today's lifestyle is very conducive to the grab something on the go, which isn't very healthy a lot of times. You have to make the right choices.
That's right, you do. And with that, we always encourage people to make those right choices, and one of the choices is getting up and moving.
Yes.
And we promote just, you don't have to go and run the Boston Marathon.
No.
Just simple walking. We encourage people to walk with their families, walk down to the street at the end of the block and come back. If you can park further away in the parking lots. Those are all just simple little things that you can do, taking the stairs versus the elevator. We got to make sure that we're teaching our children those choices, the healthy choices.
Strike 3 call to Jordan Renz, a blistering fastball from Matt Naginski on the outside corner. It's his first strikeout of the day. Flint Whipke, the batter. Flint doubled and was aboard on Mark Trumbo's home run. Back in the Kernel 3-run second. 9-3 Bees. Morris at second. Flint Whipke, the batter. It was a borderline pitch that the plate umpire called Jordan Renz out on for the second out here in the Kernel third inning. Whipke ground ball into right, and it's by the second baseman. Base hit. It trickles off his glove. That'll allow Dallas Morris to speed home, and the Bee lead is now 9-4. Flint Whipke hit it sharply off the glove of the second baseman, Josh Johnson, who dove to his left. Could not come up with it cleanly. It then caromed into shallow right field, and with 2 out, Dallas Morris scored standing up. That RBI by Flint Whipke, his 15th of the year. Whipke's 2 for 2 today, and it was 9-0 after 2 innings. And now here in the bottom of the third, the Bee lead has been whittled to 5 runs. It's 9-4 Burlington. Jennifer Koopman, I know that when I was a youngster, we rode our bikes outside, we played tag, we played hide-and-go-seek, we played on the sandlot all day, baseball. We didn't have cable vision, we didn't have video games, we didn't have the internet. All those are wonderful entertainment and educational tools. However, they can be conducive to a couch potato lifestyle.
That is correct. And we all know that those things are good. Internet has brought wonderful things. Computers, our children are learning wonderful things and being able to utilize those.
Here's a ball smacked into center by Mark Trumbo. Stopping at second is Flint Whipke. Trumbo's 2 for 2, and the Kernels now have 7 hits against Burlington's best pitcher, Matt Naginski. First and second, nobody out, or 2 out rather, for Brett Martinez. Jennifer, you're right. You, as a family, and I like what I heard you say about perhaps taking a walk as a family either in the neighborhood or going to one of the many great parks in this community.
And we're so fortunate to have choices, and especially with the trail systems that are set up that go through Lynn County as well as the various parks. And then there's activities when you get to the park. Swings, slides, merry-go-rounds, things that the kids can do if they get bored with just the walking around the park.
And with the bond referendum passing a couple of years ago and all the new pools completed now and it's summertime, I love exercising my heart by swimming laps.
Absolutely. That's one of the better things, and unfortunately we can't always do it year-round unless you have a membership to a facility that you can utilize that. But yes, swimming is great, bike riding, roller skating, tennis, golf.
Oh,
we're very lucky.
Brett Martinez takes strike one called. 2 on, 2 out, bottom of the third. Kernels down 9-4, and Naginski's fastball is inside. Burlington struck for 3 in the first, 6 in the second. The Kernels counted with 3 in the bottom of the second, have scored 1 here in the home half of the third inning. Have Whitkey at second, Trumbo at first, and Brett Martinez at the plate. Breaking pitch outside, ball 2 to Brett Martinez. Jennifer Koopman is our guest from the American Heart Association. Jennifer, is your background in fundraising and nonprofit, or is it in exercise physiology and fitness-related areas?
I wish I could say it was in either one of those, but actually my background is in, I did environmental education before this.
Oh, great.
So, a totally different area to do education. Health-related things are easier for people to understand, and when it's personal and they can take a hold of it themselves, that's a whole lot easier for them to want to partake in and be a part of.
A bouncer to third. The third baseman tries to tag Whitkey going from second to third, misses him, but then Jeremy Jerschel wings his throw to first in time to retire Brett Martinez and end the Colonel third inning. It went 5-3 to end the Colonel third. In the third, the Colonels score 1 run on 3 hits. There were no B errors, and the Colonels leave 2 aboard and have stranded 3. Jennifer Koopman will be with us during the top of the 4th inning. She is helping orchestrate a first-ever fitness exposition and fair here at the ballpark, and by all accounts, it's been very, very well received. After 3 innings here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Bird Zirk is entertaining, and the Bees lead the Colonels 9-4. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, dethatching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin Insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Here we go to the top of the 4th inning at Veterans Memorial Stadium. We've just had our Solid Waste and Recycling Services recycling shuttle relay. The first pitch from Chris Howell is popped in the air off the bat of Jeremy Jerschel into shallow right. Coming on to make the catch in shallow right, Jordan Renz. Jeremy Jerschel is the 4th batter in a row retired by Colonel reliever Chris Howell. Howell answering the U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Workday 1-2-3 third inning. Chris is 1-3 with 2 saves and a 4.18 earned run average. Jennifer Koopman is with us from the American Heart Association. And Jennifer, when my mom was visiting Denver 3 years ago, she suffered a heart attack. It wasn't a mild heart attack. There's no such thing in my mom's opinion, but she has made the lifestyle changes you have suggested. My mom was not a smoker, but she now rigorously, or I would not say rigorously, she regularly walks on a treadmill. Here's a high can of corn lifted into center, sending Brad Kuhn back 2 steps, and Brad snags it off the bat of Miguel Vega, 2 away. My mom is also very conscientious about eating healthy, and it's made a world of difference.
It should. It's unfortunate that people sometimes have the actual incident that happens before they make those lifestyle changes, and that's what we try to promote is heart disease is preventable. If people start today, educate their children on making choices that are healthy, going to the doctor regularly, walking like you suggest, making those changes to live longer and stronger.
Uh-oh, here's a deep drive way out of here over the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion. A home run by Brady Everett, his first of the year, to make it 10-4 Burlington. With 2 out, Chris Howell allows his first base runner, who circles the diamond, and that is Brady Everett, his first home run. This is his 12th game for Burlington, and the Bees score for the first time since their 6-run second inning, and they now lead it 10-4. Melissa, as far as the exhibits and the displays and the equipment you have down below on the concourse, because I can't see them, how do you get them, for lack of a better term? Do you purchase them? Are they donated to you by hospitals and medical supply companies?
St. Luke's Hospital is very generous in supporting us on this event today, so they have a couple different vendor tables set up promoting their rehabilitation services and velocity.
Oh, that's great.
And then we, the American Heart Association, have 2 or 3 different tables, and one of them that's very interesting is talking about our upcoming Heart Walk, which is August 12th.
Oh, we have the latitude. We're going to keep it right here so Jennifer can talk about it in greater detail. In the batter, Carlos Arroyo, has flown out to center to end the B 4th inning. A home run by Brady Everett.
2 innings pitched, 9 hits, 9 runs, 7
1 run for the Bees on 1 hit, no Colonel errors, and the Bees leave nobody aboard. The Kernels are going to come to bat in the bottom of the 4th inning, trailing Burlington 10-4. August 12th, Jennifer Koopman, is an event that I think has a great tradition going in Cedar Rapids.
Yes, it does. Several hundred people come out to the event. It's August 12th at Kirkwood Community College. Bring your friends and family. If you'd like to just come out and walk that day, we are happy to have that. If you'd like to sign up ahead of time and be a part of the walking experience and doing the team walking and raising money for the American Heart Association that can go for education and research in this area, then we ask that you, if you want to do that, to call the American Heart Association at 378-1763. And we'll get you down the right path to do that. If you'd like more information about the walk, you can also call that number and we'll give you the details. But it's a fun family day.
Jennifer, you're saying that I could come out to Kirkwood and walk in the American Heart Association. Is it called a walk? What's the name of the event?
It's just called the American Heart Walk.
The American Heart Walk.
Yes, and anybody can come and walk. Just show up that day by 9 o'clock and walk with your friends or by yourself or with other people there. And there's different routes that you can do, a 3.1-mile walk or a 2-mile or 1 mile. It'll be mapped out, so depending on your ability to do those various walks. There's also vendors where there'll be health information, exercise tips, fun activities for the kids. So it's a morning on Saturday by noon or 11:30. You'd be free to go do another activity in Cedar Rapids because there's many things going on during the month of August.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. I'm going to have you stay with us for the first batter, Tyler Johnson, who fouls one off to the right. It's being chased by first baseman Miguel Vega, but it's up into the premier seats behind the Colonel dugout. And then we're going to have you pass the baton off to Teresa Kurtz of Keeping Lynn County Clean. It's ironic that you were educated as an environmental specialist.
Yes. I used to work for the Lynn Soil and Water Conservation District, so I had experience in working with trying to keep our county clean and our city safe and healthy for our future generations. So, Teresa, I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about that as well.
Well, Jennifer, I'll tell you what, we really appreciate what you have done, along with Velocity Sports Performance in St. Luke's, to put this fabulous event together. Tyler Johnson had a pitch go right over his noggin, now a change-up high. Tyler Johnson, Marco Albano, Brad Kuhn for the Kernels here in the 4th inning. 10-4 Burlington. Johnson takes a healthy cut at one and fouls it right below our vantage point here behind home plate. Jennifer Koopman, lifestyle and forming good habits. Those are two of the messages. Regular exercise, making the right choices at the table, and then setting the tone as adults for the younger generation, because you said that you can prevent heart disease early.
That is correct. And by doing those things and making sure you know your own family health history and going to the doctor regularly, putting all of those things together, it can be preventable and people can make the right choices.
We don't want this trend of obesity to continue. There are things we can do to halt it.
And it's unfortunate that we have to talk about that with our children, but starting with them, they're on a path now that isn't so good. According to some of the recent studies, 15% of our children between the ages of 6 and 11 are either overweight or obese. And that's really unfortunate when you think of the long term, what that has an effect for them. Their future is starting out like that. That's not so good.
Doesn't give them a fair chance.
No, it doesn't.
Eliminating the soda machines from the schools and cutting down on the number of hours watching TV. These are all things we can do.
That's correct.
Well, Tyler Johnson has walked, and Jennifer Koopman, I know you want to interact with the vendors and the sponsors. There's a wild pitch, and that sends Tyler Johnson down to second. Jennifer, Jack Rader, I'd never seen him so excited about a first-time event here at the ballpark. Thank you for all the extra work you did to make it happen today.
It was a team effort, and it was so much fun, and we're glad to be here. And what a great way to tie in the health message at a baseball game. That's cool.
You bet it is.
Very fun. Thank you. It was nice to meet you.
Jennifer, great meeting you, and keep up the great work.
Thank you.
American Heart Association Representative Jennifer Koopman with us here as the catcher is shaken up a bit, the catcher being J.P. Lowen. He tried to block that pitch in the dirt by Matt Naginski, and it was a wild pitch that sent Tyler Johnson down to second. Burlington leads at 10-4 here in the fourth inning, and Teresa Kurtz, it is great to have you in your bright orange shirt.
Thank you very much. We're happy to be here.
I'll tell you what, Teresa, I've worked the last 8 years with Mark Jones at Solid Waste and Recycling. Mark was open-minded enough to like the concept of a mascot. We introduced Kirby 8 years ago in the old ballpark. I think you and your colleagues saw what a big, big figure Kirby has become in this community.
He is awesome.
And your group is dedicated to helping keep Lynn County clean. And one of the things I always hear from out-of-town visitors is what a beautiful community we have. And tell us about what your mission is.
Okay, we're Keep Lynn County Beautiful, and we're an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful and Keep Iowa Beautiful. Remember the old Iron Eyes Cody and the whole litter prevention?
Oh, yes. Here's a line drive off the bat of Albano, caught and right by Carlos Arroyo. Tyler Johnson can advance. Tyler has the return to second. Albano lines out to right. And I'm sorry, Teresa, clean and beautiful are similar adjectives, but beautiful connotates much more than just cleanliness. And you're from keeping Lynn County beautiful.
You got it. You got it. Oh. And it is a beautiful place, and we are hoping to keep it clean and beautiful.
You bet. Now, that means somebody like Kirby, who reminds here's a bunt by Kuhn, foul up the third baseline. Teresa, that means that one of the ways we can help keep Lynn County beautiful is to not add to our landfill space and not to litter. Recycling is a big part of probably what you try to encourage.
Oh, definitely. Recycling is a great step. It's something people can do every single day, and it's putting waste in its place because it is a wasted resource. We'd rather keep it out of the landfill. We can put it to good use by recycling.
Teresa, are you full-time with Keep Lynn County Beautiful?
Actually, I'm the coordinator for Keep Lynn County Beautiful, but my full-time job is I'm the education coordinator for the Cedar Rapids Lynn County Solid Waste Agency.
Wow.
Yeah, we're busy.
So you probably know not only Mark Jones, but you probably know, and I'll think of her name here in just Carmen Bradford?
Well, Carmen McShane. She was out in the field today welcoming all the guests because the Solid Waste Agency sponsored 300 volunteers in the community to come and clean up today.
Teresa, that's great. So people who volunteer were treated today by your agency.
Oh, yeah. You can look down and see a sea of orange.
Yes, I
everywhere.
can. That's why we decided to have the recycling shuttle race right in front of the third base dugout. We thought your volunteers would enjoy that. Oh, Brad Kuhn laces a pitch foul just past third. Brad's in the hole 0-2. We're in the bottom of the fourth inning, and the Kernels trail Burlington 10-4. Teresa Kurtz is with us from Keep Lynn County Beautiful. And my goodness, Teresa, you have 300 volunteers here today.
Oh, yeah. Well, we actually, at our last cleanup, we had 540 volunteers come out and clean up Interstate 380, McLeod Run, Cedar Lake, Norwich Park. It was a great day, a day much like this, and it was very exciting to see everyone out doing their part.
Oh, yes. And, Teresa, I don't know if you're like me, but my blood boils, and I don't see it too often anymore. But every once in a while, I'll see a very discouraging behavior. I'll see a guy roll his window down and toss trash out on the side of the road. Not too often do I see it, but this is the type of behavior that when you do that, you're thinking, well, before you even think of doing that, you should think this is going to make the area I live in look horrible.
Well, not only that. I mean, there's a link between people that litter and crime and other things. And areas that are littered and have broken windows, etc., that aren't clean and beautiful, tend to have a little bit more crime in them.
I never even thought of that connection. Swing and a miss by Brad Kuhn. And there are two away here in the Colonel Fourth. Hindley Station, the number 2 hitter in the Allen Motor Company order, will try to drive home Tyler Johnson, who walked for the second time in this game, then advanced to second on a wild pitch. Albano lined to right. Kuhn struck out swinging on a fastball. Here's a ground ball knocked down by the first baseman, Miguel Vega. He recovers, steps on first to end the Colonel fourth inning. Hindley Station wraps out to first unassisted. A leadoff walk, but the Colonels scored no runs, no hits. There were no B errors, and the Colonels leave one man aboard and have stranded 4. We'll return in a moment with more fun from the ballpark. We're visiting with Teresa Kurtz from Keeping Lynn County Beautiful, and we've also enjoyed our talk with Jennifer Koopman of the American Heart Association. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, Burlington clubbing the Kernels 10-4. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Reading stimulates a child's imagination, increases their mastery of subject matter, improves their spelling and vocabulary, and opens up new worlds of discovery. That's why Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels are teaming up to encourage elementary students throughout the community to read. Kernels players will visit 38 elementary schools this spring to talk with students about the benefits of reading. Girls and boys will then be rewarded with nifty prizes for achieving reading milestones. Toyota Financial Services, the Gazette, and the Kernels, proud to stand behind our community's youth through reading.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a kick and mash up of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
With Teresa Kurtz of Keeping Lynn County Beautiful, I'm John Rogers. We roll into the 5th inning. Bird Zirk is continuing to entertain down below. And, boy, then on the subject of mascots, Teresa, Bird Zirk's here. We have Mr. Shucks. The Cedar Rapids Solid Waste and Recycling Department has Kirby. And you have a mascot that's very well known.
We do. The Cedar Rapids Lynn County Solid Waste Agency has Mr. Earth, and actually he was a big hit at Tanager Fest yesterday. So he's out and about. Look for him at Festa Fun.
And I bet the kids love having I'm going to just guess that Mr. Earth is probably shaped like a globe.
He sure is. He's a very big, round globe.
And I know that you cooperate so well with Blue Stem and Mark Jones. Here's a high fly ball into shallow left. Coming on is Tyler Johnson waiting. And Tyler Johnson hauls it in off the bat of Jose Duarte. One away here in the B5th inning. They lead it 10-4. And we're in the top of the 5th inning. The batter is J.P. Lowen. Teresa Kurtz, as far as the volunteer efforts that you have, I see our hostess Carla Davis wearing one of the orange shirts. So clever, and I think here's a high pop fly foul down the left field line. How do you get the word out to somebody who may want to join your effort but has never helped in a cleanup before?
Well, we have a lot of different things that people can volunteer for, and we have a website, keeplynncountybeautiful.org. So it's our name, .org. And you can go there and register, contact the Solid Waste Agency if you don't have access to web, and our number is 398-1278. And Carla was incredible. She's actually on the committee that planned our I-380 cleanup, and she sure helped get the word out.
Oh, Carla's the best.
She's awesome.
I want Carla on my team no matter what the event. Here's a drive down the left field line, and it's fair past Tyler Johnson into the left field corner. Speeding to second is J.P. Lowen, and Lowen has the 11th hit of the day for Burlington. J.P. Lowen strokes an opposite field double down the left field line. It's his second hit. And the Bees, who already lead at 10-4, have a runner at second with one away here in the top of the fifth inning. How do you coordinate with the state or county sheriff's offices, Teresa, to make sure that no one gets hurt on the side of a highway?
Well, actually, the sheriff's department or sheriff's office is actually on our committee as well, Keep Linn County Beautiful. So we've got quite a group of awesome people on our committee. And we contract with, we fill out forms with the DOT and let them know we're going to be out there that day, and that's why we wear these orange shirts. Instead of putting safety vests on, we bought the orange shirts as a safety matter.
I didn't know that.
And they sure are visible.
They sure are, from a long way away.
Yeah. So you can see our volunteers when they're out on the interstate cleaning up.
Chris Howell misses in the dirt. It's blocked by Brett Martinez. Brett, in his red shin guards and red chest protector, heads back out to the hill to have a word with Chris. One on in scoring position, one away for the Bees. Here in the top of the fifth inning, they lead it 10-4. A high pop foul, chased by third baseman Dallas Morris, but he runs out of room. It's well up into the red club seats among the volunteers from Keep Linn County Beautiful. They're headed by Teresa Kurtz. Teresa, what about the guy who thinks he's being clever and drives out with a bunch of old tires and dumps them near a stream, or these type of things, aren't they becoming less and less prevalent?
You'd be surprised. Actually, there's still quite a bit that goes on. Linn County truly is a beautiful, clean place, but we still see quite a bit of illegal dumping. And actually, Keep Linn County Beautiful, we got a grant from the DNR and Keep Iowa Beautiful, and we started an illegal dumping hotline.
So if a guy sees, if you can get his license plate?
Yeah,
okay.
You can call it in and report it.
Good.
So you can get that number off of our website.
Well, great. Because every once in a while you'll see somebody trying to pull a fast one, and you don't want to take the law into your own hands.
No.
But calling that hotline is a great suggestion.
Yeah, and our mission is to educate people and to empower them. And by giving them one number to call sort of empowers them to be able to take some action without having to get involved themselves.
Boy, I'd never forgot one time, Teresa, a foul off to the left by Ethan Santana. He's walked and scored and flown to left. Runner at second. One out here in the B-fifth. They're up 10-4. Howell's pitch is grounded sharply into right for a base hit. Jim Gavella's waving J.P. Lowen home. The throw by Renz is up the first base line and not in time. J.P. Lowen slides in feet first across the dish. And the Bees now have extended their lead to 11-4 here in the top of the fifth inning. I'll never forget, Teresa, one time I saw a fella stop by this in a park of all things, and he dumped his ashtray, and I just took it upon myself, quite frankly, to clean up the mess. He looked like he'd been drinking. And cigarettes, don't they stay in the environment forever?
They sure do, and actually, quite honestly, one of the things that is most frequently littered is cigarette butts.
Oh boy!
I remember the statistic, but they're everywhere. If you pull up on any of the entrance or exit ramps, when you're waiting for that stoplight to change, you look down to the side of the road, and it's littered with cigarette butts. And people think it's such a small thing, but it sure adds up, and it's rather unsightly.
Oh yes, Chris Howell's first pitch is plugged foul onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion down the left field line on this lovely Sunday afternoon. The Bees have wrapped out a dozen hits, knocked out Colonel Ace Nick Adenhart after 2 innings, are comfortably ahead, 11-4. We're with Teresa Kurtz of Keeping Linn County Beautiful. She's in her bright orange shirt. They just completed. Here's the runner going, a pitch high. Martinez's throw. In time! Out at second is Ethan Santana. And the play went, well, Heinley Statia's limping a little bit. The play went caught stealing 2-6 as Etienne Santana tried to steal second. He was thrown out by Brett Martinez, and I think Santana may have spiked Heinley Statia. Heinley's putting weight gingerly on his right side. I hope it's just his foot, not his knee. A chopper to second. Now Marco Albano has it and flips to first in time to get Josh Johnson, and that ends Burlington's fifth inning. One run for the Bees on 2 hits. There were no Kernel errors, and Burlington leaves nobody aboard. Well, Teresa Kurtz, we're going to keep it right here and then allow you to rejoin your companions when the Kernels bat in the home half of the fifth inning. As far as people who have heard our message this afternoon, if they would like to help in your efforts to keep Lynn County beautiful, would you please tell them how they can contact you or your organization and say, hey, I'd like to help?
You bet. We have plenty of opportunities available, and they can contact us via the website at keeplynncountybeautiful.org or by calling the Solid Waste Agency at 398-1278.
Teresa Kurtz, I want you to enjoy the rest of this sparkling, sunny Sunday afternoon, and I have a much greater appreciation for your organization. You're a great spokesperson for it, and if you ever, I mean this sincerely, if you're ever in need, if you'll call the ballpark, we will help with as many people as we can if you'll let us know, hopefully maybe a week or two ahead of time. I know some people, including myself, that would really feel good about trying to help in your next cleanup effort.
Well, thanks so much, and I know that our volunteers had an awesome day here today. They're just thrilled to be celebrating their efforts at the ballpark with the Kernels. So we'll remember that again as well.
Please do, Teresa, and please, hopefully you can make it an annual tradition. We'd love to have you come out.
All right, thank you so much.
That's Teresa Kurtz of Keeping Lynn County Beautiful. Teresa, thank you very much. And we're going to take a short break and be back for the bottom of the fifth inning here at the ballpark after 4.5, 11-4 Burlington. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make us a team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Dallas Morris first up for the Kernels, and he lines one into right, but it'll be caught by Carlos Arroyo. One pitch by Matt Naginski and one away here in the Kernel fifth inning. Dallas Morris goes up swinging and lines to right. Jordan Renz, or Dallas last time, doubled and scored. Jordan Renz is homered and struck out looking. One out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. What was billed to be a pitcher's duel has turned into a slugfest. 11-4 Bees. They've out-hit us 12-7. And the right-hander out of Canada, Matt Naginski, brings in a strike called. Now a fastball outside for ball 2. 1-1 to Jordan Renz. Now a fastball is upstairs. Jordan's home run, leading off the second, was his 12th of the year. And for every Kernel home run swatted this season, PRC's Community Care donates $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. Renz takes a healthy cut and fouls it back. Jordan's home run, followed by a Mark Trumbo 2-run blast in the second, have up the season total of Kernel home runs to 35, and that means the Haycap Food Reservoir has received $875 from PRC's Community Care in the Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. A big league curveball has Jordan Renz caught looking for the second out here in the Kernel fifth inning. Isn't it funny how baseball works? Yesterday, the Kernels fought and clawed and scratched out 1 run, losing 3-1. This afternoon we have 4 runs on 7 hits with our best pitcher on the mound, Nick Adenhart, and we're trailing 11-4. It's just a game you can never figure out, and if you try to, it'll drive you crazy. Flint Whipke takes low for ball 1. Flint's had himself a great day at the plate as the DH. He's doubled and scored and singled in a run. Line drive over the pitcher's head into center. Flint Whipke's 3 for 3. Flint Whipke reaches with a 2-out single, drilled over the head of Matt Naginski, and Flint Whipke is 3 for 3 on the day.
First baseman, number 32, Trumbo.
Halo happenings, results from around the Los Angeles organization. Salt Lake at AAA stopped Fresno 5-1 last night. Former Colonel lefty Joe Saunders raised his record to 7-2, and former Colonel All-Star second baseman with Midwest League batting titleist Howie Kendrick hit his 6th home run. Here's a drive into the right field corner. If it's fair, it's trouble, and it's tailing foul off the bat of Mark Trumbo. Strike 1. Trumbo with a 2-run homer and a base hit to center this afternoon. He's 2 for 2. Mark's home run was his 8th of the year. It came in the 3rd inning along with Jordan Renz. Renz's was his 12th of the season. 11-4 Burlington. We're in the 5th inning. Burlington, as ball 1 is up and into Trumbo, right-handed batter. Burlington struck for 3 in the 1st, 6 in the 2nd. The Kernels committed 4 errors in the 2nd inning. 2 by the Colonel starter Nick Adenhart, 1 by left fielder Tyler Johnson, 1 by catcher Brett Martinez. And a breaking pitch is low and outside to the big Colonel slugger, Mark Trumbo. Burlington is wearing their royal blue batting practice tops with gold numbers, royal blue hats, gray pants, royal blue socks, royal blue shoes. Strike 2 at the knees, a fastball. 2-2 to Mark Trumbo. Arkansas snapped a 7-game losing streak behind former Colonel right-hander Nick Green. The 2-2 just missed low and away. Ball 3. Coming up in the top of the 6th inning, our Springhouse Trivia question, a chance for you to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse Family Restaurant. The runner goes, and a bouncer up the middle. Hit number 3 for Mark Trumbo. Speeding to 3rd without a play is Flint Whipke. And the Colonels, Whipke and Trumbo, have 6 of the Colonel 9 hits. Flint Whipke 3 for 3. Mark Trumbo 3 for 3. Mark was running on the play. Flint was running on the play. And Mark Trumbo grounded a single into center field. Trumbo's 3 for 3, and now with 2 on and 2 out, Brett Martinez, who was grounded out twice to 3rd, will try to take another bite out of a sizable B lead, 11-4 Burlington here in the 5th inning. Fastball is downstairs, and it's ball 1 to Brett Martinez. Whipke at 3rd, Trumbo at 1st. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Colonels trail by 7, 11-4. Ball too high from the B right-hander. Burlington has a tall right-hander. Rainer Oliveras warming up in their bullpen. Rainer Oliveras warming up for Burlington. Ball 3 outside to Brett. Getting back to Halo happenings, Nick Green surrendered 3 runs on 5 hits, retired the last 7 men he faced as Arkansas whipped Midland 10-8 last night. Rancho Cucamonga beat Inland Empire 4-2 in the Cal League. Strike 1 on a 3-0 delivery from Matt Naginski to Brett Martinez. From the stretch, the 3-1. Popped foul into the first base stands, and it's a full count now to Brett Martinez. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill has arrived, and we've got a lot of ground to cover. We'll start in the top of the 6th inning with the Springhouse trivia question, and then we'll have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Let's see if Brett Martinez can come through on this 2-out, 3-2 pitch. The right-hander steps off the rubber. Boy, what a sparkling, beautiful day we have here at the ballpark. A very light breeze blowing out towards right center, but it's so light it's almost indiscernible. Martinez walks, ball 4 low. The bases are loaded with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning for Tyler Johnson. He's walked twice. Let's see if the Burlington skipper sticks with Matt Naginski. He's going to. And with the bases loaded and 2 out, Tyler Johnson will bat. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, do we have any finals yet this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard?
Yes, we do, John. In the American League, we have the Devil Rays and Blue Jays. The Devil Rays knocked off the Blue Jays at Tropicana Field 10-5, and at U.S. Cellular Field, the Rangers whooped the White Sox 10-2.
10-2, wow. We're going to have a pitching change, so Luvita, that will let you keep going. Of course, our State Farm Major League scoreboard is sponsored by
Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, and Brad Dunn. In our National League, we have Diamondbacks and Braves at Turner Field. The Diamondbacks took it to the Braves 9-3. And at PNC Park, the Padres edged past the Pirates 1-0. Those are our final scores for this afternoon. Games in progress. In the American League, we have the Red Sox and Tigers at Comerica Park. The Red Sox have it thus far, 6-3 in the bottom of the 9th. Yankees and Orioles at Camden Yards. Orioles are taken to the Yankees, 11-4. In the top of the 6th, at Safeco Field, the Mariners are edging past the Royals, 2-1 in the bottom of the 2nd. And at the Coliseum, the A's are nipping past the Twins, 1-0 in the bottom of the 2nd.
And Luvita, before we get to the National League, how are our Angels doing in Cleveland?
Let's check on that one. That game has not begun yet.
Okay, it must be delayed by rain, or maybe it's the Sunday night game. I'm not sure. But, Luvita, I didn't mean to interrupt you there. National League.
In the National League, we have the Giants and Mets at Shea Stadium, bottom of the 10th. The Giants are edging past the Mets, 6-5. At Minute Maid Park, we have the game tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 8th. That's Reds Astros. In the bottom of the 7th, at Miller Park, we have the Nationals whipping past the Brewers 7-2. And at the top of the 7th at Busch Stadium, we have the Cardinals nipping past the Cubs 9-6. At Coors Field, in the top of the 6th, we have the Rockies and Marlins. The Marlins are just edging past the Rockies 3-2. And at Dodger Stadium, in the bottom of the 2nd, we have the Phillies whipping past the Dodgers 1-0. That concludes the look at our National League.
On the State Farm Major League scoreboard, sponsored by State Farm Insurance agents Gary Shubat, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Al Shetler. A new pitcher for the Bees, Rainer Oliveros, Oliveros. Rainer pitched in 14 games as a starter with the Arizona Rookie Royals last year, was 7-1 with a 2.39 ERA. Rainer Oliveros will take over for starter Matt Naginski. Naginski unable to go the requisite 5 innings to earn a win, and the Kernels have the bases loaded with 2 out. Tyler Johnson at the plate. Tyler has walked twice against the departed starter. Johnson wraps it to shortstop. It's fielded by Valentino Arce, and he underhands to Josh Johnson for the force out of Brett Martinez. One pitch by relief pitcher Rainer Oliveros, and he gets Tyler Johnson to hit into a 6-4 force out at second. The Kernels loaded the bases with 2 out, but the relief pitcher Oliveros came on and got Tyler Johnson on the force play. No runs in the 5th for the Kernels, 2 hits, a walk. There were no B errors, and the Kernels leave the bases loaded and have stranded 7. We go to the top of the 6th inning. Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question coming your way after 5.
4 2/3 innings pitched, 9 hits, 4 runs, all earned.
After 5, the Kernels trail Burlington 11-4. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
With Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, this is John Rogers here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it's 11-4 in favor of Burlington as we go to the top of the 6th inning. This afternoon, I'll tell you about the Spring House, and Luvita Hill will give you the question and then give you the phone number. The Spring House features 85-cent coffee. 85-cent coffee. They serve breakfast all day at the Spring House, and the first pitch, or a 1-0 pitch rather, from Chris Howell to Valentino Arce hits Arce. Valentino Arce struck by the pitch, and a runner at first with nobody out here in the B, 6th inning. 85-cent coffee at the Spring House. Breakfast served all day. And if you've been one of our previous 25 Spring House Restaurant Baseball Trivia Question winners, congratulations. Please don't call in this afternoon, and we'll take your calls in just a moment. Luvita will have the question for you. Jeremy Jerschel is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the B 3-run first inning. 11-4 Burlington. The Kernels get left-hander Brad Beck up and throwing in the right field bullpen. Howell's pitch is a fastball upstairs, 1-1. Chris Howell earned a save in the Colonel 13-inning 5-4 win Tuesday night in Clinton. Chris is on for the 18th time this year with a 4.18 ERA. A hard hit ball to third. Morris has it. Throws to second. Out. Albano to first. Double play. Oh, the Kernels, thanks to Dallas Morris's great play at third. That ball was smashed hard on 2 hops. They'll show it on the Rockwell Collins game link. Dallas Morris made some play on a hard hit 2-hop smash off the bat of Jerschel. Dallas reacted quickly, then threw to second to get the force on Valentino Arce onto first, and it went around the horn, 5-4-3. Springhouse trivia question, Luvita Hill, take it away.
Last season, the Kernels became the first National League team since 1991 to have both the Cy Young and MVP award winners in the same season. Name the National League team with both the Cy Young and MVP award winners in 1991. The number to call is 896-7589. Once again, that number is 896-7589.
Thanks, Luvita. We'll repeat the question. Go right ahead.
Last season, the Cardinals became the first National League team since 1991 to have both the Cy Young and MVP award winners in the same season. Name the National League team with both the Cy Young and MVP award winners in 1991.
In 1991. And the number to call?
896-7589.
896-7589. Swing and a miss by Miguel Vega, who has 3 RBIs today. The 2-2 from Howell is looped into the air down the right first base side, and in foul ground, Mark Trumbo backpedals, now comes in a few steps and gloves it. Miguel Vega has fouled out to Mark Trumbo, the first baseman. And that ends the B6th inning. No runs for Burlington, no hits, a hit batter, a double play turned by the Kernels. There were no Kernel errors, and Burlington leaves the bases empty. The Bees have only stranded 2 men this afternoon. We go to the home half of the 6th inning here at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and Burlington is ahead of the Kernels 11-4. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are two hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids, Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with sign contractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Well, in this 11-4 game with Burlington on top, Bird Zirk is at it again. There's a figure out there, Luvita, named Ball Zirk, and he's getting a heavy-handed treatment from some ugly-looking fella in a tuxedo. I can't exactly describe this skit other than Ball Zirk has rolled the fella over.
Oh, no, he rolled him over. John, do you know who this guy is?
I have no idea who it is.
Have you ever seen the Six Flags Great America commercials with this song they just played?
I haven't.
Oh, he's the guy from the Six Flags Great America
okay, so most of the crowd knows who he is.
That's right. That's who he is, and that song is his song.
Wow. Well, he and Balzerk had quite a battle for the attention of the crowd, I guess you could say. We've had 3 incorrect answers in our Springhouse trivia question. We'll have Luvita repeat it in just a moment. I'll give you a hint. The answer is not the San Francisco Giants or the Los Angeles Dodgers. We want to know the last National League team since the Cardinals. Last season, the Cardinals had Albert Pujols win the MVP and Chris Carpenter the Cy Young. The last National League team to do that was a 1991 team. They had the Cy Young Award winner and the MVP, and we're taking your calls at 896-7589, 896-7589. Marco Albano fouls the pitch straight back. Now a curve, and it's ball 1 to Marco Albano. Now we have a winner that we'll share with you in a little bit on our Springhouse trivia question. Marco Albano, the number 9 hitter's 1 for 2. Time is called. The final line on Matt Naginski, the Burlington starter. He cannot win his 5th game in a row. He went 4 2/3, surrendered 4 runs on 9 hits. Naginski struck out 2. Marco Albano drills one into straightaway center, and coming in a few steps now with the wind blowing it in to make the catch is Jose Duarte. Marco Albano flies to center, 1 away here in the Kernels' 6th inning. Matt Naginski, the starter for Burlington, 4 2/3. He allowed 4 runs on 9 hits. He struck out 3 and walked 2. Rainer Oliveros is the pitcher. He got the final out in the Kernel 5th inning. Here's a base hit into left by Brad Kuhn. Brad laced it through the hole. A diving attempt by shortstop Valentino Arce. The Kernels have their 10th hit of the day. Brad Kuhn with his first base knock is at first with 1 out here in the 6th inning, and the Kernels down 11-4. Kernel broadcast assistant Luvita Hill, if you could repeat our Springhouse trivia question, share the answer, and then congratulate our winner.
The question was, last season, the Cardinals became the first National League team since 1991 to have both the Cy Young and MVP award winners in the same season. Name the National League team with both the Cy Young and MVP award winners in 1991. That team would be the Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
And congratulations to Zach Vogel out of Marion, Iowa, for his correct answer of the Atlanta Braves.
Zach, that's fantastic. Zach Vogel, you're right. It was Terry Pendleton, the MVP, Tom Glavine, the Cy Young Award winner. Double play ball off the bat of Stacia to the second baseman. Josh Johnson underhands to Valentine Arce. Arce on to first for the inning-ending double play. Heinley Stacia, first pitch swinging. wraps into a 4-6-3 twin killing. And in the 6th inning for the Kernels, no runs, 1 hit. There were no B errors. The Kernels leave the bases empty as Burlington records their first double play of the afternoon. The Kernels have a double play to their credit. Once again, Levita, the name of our Springhouse Trivia question winner.
Congratulations to Zach Vogel out of Marion, Iowa.
Zach Vogel, way to go. Before the Cardinals last year, the Atlanta Braves were the last team to feature a Cy Young Award winner, Tom Glavine, and an MVP in Terry Pendleton. We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. We'll share that with you when we return after 6 on this beautiful Sunday. Colonels trail Burlington 11-4. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood, start here, go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine-ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. But when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talent. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen sees lefty Brad Beck take over. Brad was our South Slope Communications Triple Play Show guest with Brooks at bat, Bob Brooks, yesterday. A delightful guy, a left-hander who works ball one low to Brady Everett here in the top of the 7th inning. Now a fastball outside, and it's 2-0 to Brady Everett. Everett singled and scored in the B's 6-run second, and then homered against Chris Howell in the 4th inning. Chris Howell pitched 4 innings out of the Colonel bullpen, and the 2-0 pitch is hoisted into straightaway center. Brad Kuhn takes 2 steps in, glasses on, and Brad brings it down 1 away here in the B's 7th inning. Chris Howell pitched 4 innings, did very good work. He allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out none, walked none. And this U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen brought to you by U.S. Cellular. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes, only from U.S. Cellular. Lefty Brad Beck facing left-handed hitting Carlos Arroyo, and Carlos has a couple of hits today. Has scored a run, has driven in a pair, a swing and a miss on a big slider from Brad Beck. Now a line shot into shallow right. It falls 1 hop in front of Jordan Renz for a base hit, and that's the 13th B hit of the day. Brad Beck on for the 4th time as a Colonel, pitched a 3rd of an inning in the Colonel Memorial Day win in Clinton last week. Brad Beck from the Washington, D.C. area, Arlington, Virginia. His dad works for the National Coal Council, and he was saying how there's a lot of interest in Washington, D.C. about using coal now as an alternative energy source. Beck's curveball just misses outside to Jose Duarte, and now a Uncle Charlie is a strike called. Carlos Arroyo aboard at first with 1 away here in the top of the 7th inning. Swing and a foul by Jose Duarte. Jose 1 for 3. Burlington scored 3 in the first, 6 in the second, sending 10 men to the plate, and they lead it 11-4 here in the top of the 7th inning. Outfield plays the right-handed batter straight away, and a curveball is rolled foul to the Colonel dugout and a splinter off the barrel of the bat of Jose Duarte. He breaks his bat, and he's retreating back to the B dugout. Well, Levita Hill and I know that there's not much time remaining before you have to decide whether to send your daughter or son to our annual baseball camps. And, Levita, let's start with the camp for the younger kids and give our listeners some of the important details.
Well, June 8th through 10th, that's the 8th, 9th, and 10th, the Kernels will host a baseball camp for children ages 7 to 10. This camp is only $100, and for your $100, you get to interact with the Kernels players. You get a T-shirt, lunch for each day that the kids here, and 4 tickets to the Kernels game on the last day of camp.
Ball 2 is low, and Levita, the camp again for the younger kids, what age and when does it begin?
That camp begins June 8th and it ends June 10th, so that's the 8th, 9th, and 10th, and it's for children ages 7 to 10.
A ground ball past a diving Dallas Morris, also past a diving shortstop Heinley Stacia in the left, and it's a seeing eye base hit for Jose Duarte, his second hit of the day, his 7th of the series. Carlos Arroyo stops at second. First and second Bs, 1 out for J.P. Lowen, a left-handed batter. And the camp goes from 9:30 until 12:30. You said it includes lunch, instruction from Colonel players and staff, and a T-shirt. And then how do folks sign up?
If you want to sign up for our camp, you can call Seth Dorn at 363-3887. Once again, that's Seth Dorn at 363-3887.
Left-handed hitting J.P. Lowen, waiting for southpaw Brad Beck to get his sign. Brad has it and comes set just below the chin. And a curve is downstairs, ball 1. To J.P. Lowen. We're in the top of the 7th inning on this beautiful, sunny, warm Sunday afternoon. Burlington trying to forge ahead in this series with a win today. They lead it 11-4. After dropping the first game to the Kernels 4-2, the Bees won last night 3-1. We'll get to the kids that are a little bit older in their camp dates after this 2-0 pitch. And it's downstairs for ball 3. Well, Luvita, when's the camp for the older kids?
For kids ages 11 to 14, your camp is June 14th through 16th. So that's the 14th, 15th, and 16th. And once again, that camp is $100, and for that $100, you will receive a T-shirt, lunch for each day, and 4 tickets to the Kernels game on the last day of camp.
All right. Boy, those are 2 great opportunities for girls and boys to come and learn baseball. A 3-1 pitch is fouled off to the left, and it's a full count now to J.P. Lowen. Luvita Hill was a sports camp counselor at the University of Iowa the last couple of summers, and Luvita, you know how much kids can both learn and how much they enjoy making new friends. The 3-2 pitch is lined into left, and that's a base hit down the line, cut off by Tyler Johnson, racing around third and scoring to make it 12-4. Burlington is Carlos Arroyo. Carlos Arroyo scores on a long single down the left field line off the bat of left-handed hitting J.P. Lowen. It's first and second, 1 away, and Ethan Santana's the batter. Luvita, when people come to the camps at the University of Iowa, when youngsters come, they have an opportunity to make friends.
Yes, they do. They have an opportunity to make friends with their fellow campers, the players at Iowa, the coaches who coach them, and us counselors.
Well, it's the same here, Luvita, with the Colonel players and the Colonel staff. The players get to make friends very easily. We've made friends with Logan Clark. Logan's here is my little brother in the Little Brother, Little Sister program, and he's had a great time this afternoon. And in fact, he's peering through the binoculars looking at Mr. Shucks. And Luvita, Logan's usually a pretty good guy in terms of communicating. Let's go ahead in a second and put the headsets on him and see what he's done today. A breaking pitch is downstairs.
Birthday greetings to Dave Foster, 50 years old today. Happy birthday, Dave.
Well, Logan Clark from Big Brothers Big Sisters, we picked you up at your church today at 1 o'clock, Logan. Here's a high fly ball into center. Brad Kuhn is racing back, way back, and it's over Brad's head and to the base of the warning track. Rounding third and scoring to make it 13-4. Here's the throw home, but scoring to make it 13-4 is Jose Duarte. On to third goes J.P. Lowen, and a double by Ethan Santana just over the head of Brad Kuhn in center. makes it a 13-4 game. And here comes Kernan Ronan to talk it over with Brad Beck. Logan Clark, we picked you up at church at 1 o'clock today. You came here and you watched the first few innings. Well, before the game, what did we do down on the concourse with your baseball cards?
Well, all we did was we looked at them and we looked at some baseball players, and some of them were really good. They were professionals.
That's right. They were pro ball players, and you got some of their autographs, didn't you? And I know you collect baseball cards, don't you, Logan?
Yep.
I know, and you keep them in a book, I think you told us, at home. And then you watched part of the game with us. I want to find out in a second what you did with Sonia and what you found in the, here's a big curveball for a strike. Boy, Logan, you went to the souvenir store, didn't you?
Yep.
What did you get?
We got a little baseball and a little,
bat?
Keychain that was a bat.
Yeah.
And we got a big bat.
Wow, Logan, man, you struck the jackpot here today. That's great. Second and third, one away, and 1-1 to Josh Johnson. Up grounder to third, and Morris looks the runner back to third, throws high to first, but gets Josh Johnson 2 gone here in the 7th inning. Logan Clark is from Polk Elementary School. His mom is Monique. His sister is Marissa. And Logan, what's your grandmother's name? We met her at church today.
Vicky.
Yes, Vicky. She was dressed real pretty, and she said, now, Logan, you behave, and I'll tell you what, Logan, you've behaved great all day today. After you went to the souvenir store, I know your mom, Monique, said, John, make sure Logan gets something to eat. I gave you an apple in the car. You had a couple of Krispy Kreme donuts. Have you had a chance to get anything else to eat yet?
No.
Okay, we'll get you something to eat before too long, or I'll take you to eat after the game. Here's a slow roller up the middle. Stacia has it and throws Valentino Arce out. Brad Beck is touched for 2 runs on 4 hits in the 7th inning. The Kernels made no errors. Burlington leaves, 2 men aboard, and they've stranded 4. Well, Logan Clark and the rest of this big crowd are going to enjoy, thanks to the Lindale Dental Care, the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game. Let's keep it right here as Lindale Dental Care is going to bring us the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Let's listen in. Well, although the Kernels trail in the game 13-4, this big crowd's having a great time, including Logan Clark in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. Kernels come to bat in the bottom of the 7th, trailing Burlington 13-4. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Pekin Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
13-4 in favor of Burlington as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Dallas Morris, Jordan Renz, and Flip Whipke to bat. Well, Levita, let's have just a final couple of words from Logan Clark. I haven't had a chance to ask him about a couple of more fun things he might have done here at the ballpark this afternoon. Logan is in the Big Brothers Big Sisters program, and ball low, or a strike rather, at the knees from Rainer Oliveros to Dallas Morris. Well, Logan, I forgot to tell you that thanks to Velocity Sports Performance, after the game today, you're allowed to run the bases. Would you like to do that?
Yep.
All right. We'll have you run the bases. And Berg Zerk, did you get a chance to see most of his show, Logan?
Yeah.
How'd you like him?
Good.
He's pretty funny, isn't he? I liked him, too, all the way up here. Logan's sitting in an extra high chair so he can see. He's sitting right between broadcast assistant Luvita Hill and I, swinging a tip foul by Morris, and now Dallas goes down on strikes. A good changeup from Rainer Oliveros, one away here in the 7th inning. Our baseball fun fact. Kansas City Royal general manager John Schuerholz traded David Cohn to the Mets in 1987 for catcher Ed Hearn. Well, that's not a very fun fact to remind John Schuerholz of. He traded David Cohn, who went on to win over 200 games as a big leaguer, to the Mets in 1987 for catcher Ed Hearn. Hearn only played in 14 games as a Royal before having to retire with a back injury. So that has to rank up as one of the worst trades in baseball history. And it shows you that even a great general manager, the only one to win a World Series in both leagues, John Schuerholz with the Royals in 85 and the Braves in 95, the only GM to win World Series in both leagues, traded David Cohn, a Kansas City Royal, to the Mets for Ed Hearn in 1987, and boy, did the Mets get the better of that deal. It's 2-1 to Jordan Renz. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Jordan has homered and struck out twice. Jordan fouls one away to the right, strike 2. Burlington has 16 hits, and they lead the Kernels 13-4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Well, Logan Clark, when's the last day of school for a while at Polk?
One more day and then summer break is on.
Yes, summer break is on. And one more day, meaning tomorrow. Here's a nubber back to the base of the mound. It's gloved by pitcher Rainer Oliveros, who throws out Jordan Renz. 2 away here in the Kernels 7th inning. The Kernels have right-hander Tim DeJurgis throwing in the bullpen. And DeJurgis may take over in the Burlington 8th inning. Burlington scored 3 in the first, 6 in the second, and they are cruising now, leading 13-4. Flint Whipke's 3 for 3 today. Strike one called at the knees to Flint. We'll have another look in just a little bit at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, see what else has gone final this afternoon. Flint Whipke, a one-hopper off the chest of the third baseman, ricochets to the shortstop. Valentino Arce throws, not in time. It'll likely be an error charged on Jeremy Jershell. If they give Flint Whipke a hit, it'll be his 4th hit of the day, but I'm afraid they're going to have to charge Jeremy Jershell with an error. We'll wait and see the official ruling from Al Gruwell, our official scorer. It was a one-hopper that thudded off the chest of Jeremy Jershell, then caromed to Valentino Arce. The throw to first, not in time, and Flint Whipke's aboard. Still no ruling whether it's a hit or an error. Here's a 4 for 4 day for Mark Trumbo. Trumbo lashes one into the left center field alley. Whipke's racing to third, and he stops there. Mark Trumbo is 4 for 4. He's homered, singled, and now he's doubled into left center. Mark Trumbo is 4 for 4 today. And Mark's average will be above the 200 mark when we play the series finale here tomorrow afternoon. Mark Trumbo ripped a double into the left center field gap, sending Whipke to third. They've credited Flint with a hit, I believe, so he's 4 for 4. Trumbo's 4 for 4. I thought they'd rule an error on Jeremy Jershell, but I know in most home stadiums they would give the home batter a hit, and I think Al Gruwell was probably thinking, heck, it was a tough play at third. I could rule in an error, or I could award Flint a hit, and he awarded Flint a hit. Trumbo's doubled Flint to third, and the 1-0 to Martinez is in the dirt for a ball. Now, do you know, Logan Clark, whether you get out of school at noon tomorrow, or do you go the full day?
Noon.
You go the whole day, Logan, or get out at noon?
Noon.
Okay. Well, summertime break, I think Polk is what, 4 or 5 weeks?
4.
Good. 3 balls, no strikes to Brett Martinez.
God.
Yes.
Do I take these off?
Not yet, bud. You're doing great. Unless you want to take them off. Can you hear me okay? But you're ready to slip them off? Okay, Logan, thank you very much. Logan Clark taking his headsets off, and he's going to watch the rest of this game. He'll get to run the bases after the game, and then we're going to treat him to something to eat. 2nd and 3rd, 2 out. Brett Martinez on a 3-1 delivery. Walks, ball 4 outside. The bases are loaded for Tyler Johnson. Tyler batted with the bases full his last time up against this very pitcher, reliever Rainer Oliveros. And Oliveros got Tyler Johnson to ground into a 6-4 force out. Burlington hammering the Kernels 13-4. Neither of the starters, Nick Adenhart or Burlington's Matt Naginski, made it through the 5th inning. Ooh, a hanging curve, and Oliveros got away with it. A swing and a miss by Tyler Johnson. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Whipke at 3rd, Trumbo at 2nd, Martinez at 1st for Tyler Johnson, who steps out. Tyler uses a white ash bat. He's out of Muskogee, Oklahoma. Right-handed hitter facing right-hander Rainer Oliveros. And the 0-2 in the dirt for ball 1. The Kernels have a dozen hits today, have scored 4 runs, but trail 13-4. Tim DeJurgis, who last pitched in the 13-inning Kernel win on Tuesday night in Clinton, is warming up in the bullpen. The bases loaded delivery. Tyler fouls it off to the right to stay alive. We'll have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard when the Bees bat in the top of the 8th inning, and I imagine by now we probably have 6 or 8 finals, maybe more. Rainer Oliveros comes set and gets Tyler Johnson on a changeup in the dirt, strike 3. No runs for the Kernels in the 7th inning, 2 hits. There were no B errors, and the Kernels leave the bases loaded again and have left 10. Flint Whipke's 4 for 4, Mark Trumbo's 4 for 4, but as we go to the 8th inning, Burlington's ahead of the Kernels 13-4, and you're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team, Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
A U.S. Cellular call to the Kernel bullpen brings on Tim DeJurgis. Get your wireless relief with Call Me Minutes only from U.S. Cellular. Brad Beck went 1 inning, surrendered a couple of runs on 4 hits, struck out none, walked none. The Colonel lefty hands it over to tall right-hander Tim DeJurgis. DeJurgis pitched 2 scoreless innings Tuesday night in Clinton in the Colonel 13-inning 5-4 win. In those 2 innings, Tim allowed no runs, no hits, struck out 1, walked 1. He got out of a bases-loaded jam in the bottom of the 9th inning to help the Colonels win in Clinton. Tim DeJurgis, 0-2 this year, a 3.14 ERA. Tim on for the 17th time, has pitched 28 2/3 innings, allowed only 21 hits. Tim is fanned 27 and 28 2/3, walked 15, and the league hitting .202 against right-hander Tim DeJurgis. Here we go to the top of the 8th inning. And ball 1 low and away to Jeremy Jerschel. Jeremy Jerschel was hit by a pitch and scored in the B 3-run first. Since then, he's popped to second, flown to right, and hit into a double play. Ball 2 is high to Jerschel. I want to apologize. It's Jeremy Jerschley. I've been saying Jerschel. It's Jerschley. State Farm Insurance agents Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Brad Dunn, and Gary Schubat are proud now to step to the plate with a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, and ball 3 is upstairs to Jerschley. The 3-1 from Tim. Pounded foul off the batter's foot. Well, Luvita, let's start the American League with finals.
In the American League, we have the Red Sox. They trimmed past the Tigers at Comerica Park, 8-4. The Devil Rays knocked off the Blue Jays at Tropicana Field, 10-5. The Orioles knocked off the Yankees at Camden Yards, 11-4.
Here's a 3-2 pitch fouled straight back. The count remains full to Jeremy Jerschley.
At U.S. Cellular Field, the Rangers knocked off the White Sox, 10-2. At Safeco Field, the Royals are edging past the Mariners in the bottom of the 4th. At the Coliseum, the A's are nipping past the Twins 3-1 in the top of the 4th. And the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim and the Indians have yet to start at Jacobs Field.
They'll probably play tonight on the ESPN Sunday night baseball game. Here's a foul high up into the backstop. Luvita, I just want you to take us back to that Kansas City game. What's the score in that Royal game?
5-3 Royals.
Over?
Mariners in the bottom of the 4th.
Thank you. The 3-2. Fouled away again, straight back. Now we'll move to the National League.
In the National League, we have the Diamondbacks. They topped the Braves at Turner Field, 9-3. At Shea Stadium, the Giants currently lead the Mets, 15-13, in the top of the 12th inning.
Is that ever a wild one? Swing and a miss on a changeup from Tim DeJurgis. He fans Jeremy Jerschley, 1 away here in the B8th inning.
One more final score in the National League at PNC Park. The Padres nipped past the Pirates 1-0. Games currently taking place like that Giants-Mets game. At Minute Maid Park, the Reds are ahead of the Astros 4-3 in the top of the 10th. At Miller Park, the Nationals are whipping past the Brewers 8-4 in the bottom of the 9th. At Busch Stadium, the Cardinals lead the Cubs 9-6 in the top of the 9th. At Coors Field, the Marlins are edging past the Rockies 4-3 in the top of the 8th. And at Dodger Stadium, the Phillies hold a 2-0 advantage in the bottom of the 5th.
Fantastic. Miguel Vega even on the count, 1-1. Vega has driven in 3 of the B13 runs, and a swing and a miss by Miguel. Strike 2. Let's make sure. Yes, this is still Miguel Vega. And Luvita, those State Farm Insurance agents that brought us the scoreboard.
We would like to thank Al Shatler, Dale Thompson, Gary Schubat, and Brad Dunn.
2 balls, 2 strikes to number 22, Miguel Vega. Tim DeJurgis on the hill here in the top of the 8th inning with Burlington comfortably ahead 13-4. And Vega lofts a pitch foul onto the Papa John's Plaza down the right field line. 2-2 to Miguel Vega. I think Logan Clark, although he looks like he's ready for a nap, he looks a little bit tired. I also think he's chomping at the bit to run the bases after the game. Here's a hard hit ball up the middle. Heinley Stacia has it and throws out Miguel Vega, 2 away here in the 8th inning.
I think he's just at that point, when kids, they get tired, but they don't want to admit it because they're excited about the game or whatever they're doing. I just think he's excited about Bergzerk and running the bases.
I sure do, too. Logan has been so well-behaved here this afternoon. I don't know about you, Levita, but as a first grader, I'm not sure I could sit at a ballpark for, he's been here since 1:15. He's been here over 3 hours, and he's just been very, very polite.
Wow, he really has been. I don't know if I could do that as a first grader either, John. I'm not sure I can do it too well as an adult.
It's got its challenges. 2 gone, nobody on, as Brady Everett takes high, and it's 2-0. The Kernels have a right-hander warming up in their bullpen. One of the other things I think Logan's enjoyed using are these binoculars.
I think he likes looking at them. He keeps grabbing them.
Yeah. It is Rafael Cruz warming up in the Colonel right field bullpen. And a 2-1 pitch is a curve to Brady Everett, strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on. Burlington 13, the Colonels 4 here in the top of the 8th. A ground ball up the middle, and Stacia dives. He can't get this one. Heinley gets almost everything else. It's the 17th hit of the day for the rampaging Burlington Bees. They're hitting only .227 as a team. Their team batting average will probably go up to about .235 after their 17 hits today. That's the third of the afternoon for Brady Everett. Now Carlos Arroyo at the plate. 2 weeks from today is Father's Day. And boy, do we have a fun treat in store for Dad.
That's right. On Sunday, June 18th, you can come to Veterans Memorial Stadium and have a Father's Day brunch from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
The 0-1 pitch. Arroyo hits it to first, down to get it Trumbo. Mark waves off Tim DeJurgis, takes the play himself. Carlos Arroyo, who has 3 hits this afternoon, grounds out to first, unassisted Trumbo. No runs in the 8th for the Bees. 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors, and the Bees leave 1 aboard. They've stranded 5. Luvita will tell you more about Father's Day and the Principal Family Fun Fest when we return in the bottom of the 8th inning. After 7.5, the Colonels are behind Burlington by 9 runs, 13-4. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
For your communication needs, internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none, South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellowbook Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellowbook's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellowbook combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellowbook, not the other book.
Here we are in the bottom of the 8th inning. Right-hander Rainer Oliveros came on to get the final out in the Colonel 5th. He's worked a scoreless 6th and scoreless 7th, and he'll face Marco Albano, Colonel number 9 hitter, then the top of the order here in the 8th inning. Father's Day is just 2 weeks away, and you can celebrate it here on Sunday, June 18th in grand style.
That's right. There's a Father's Day brunch here at the stadium from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., and that's the game, the Colonels versus the Beloit Snappers, so that will be a good game also.
10 o'clock to 1 o'clock is the Father's Day brunch, and the principal and Marco Albano is struck by a pitch. Marco Albano is hit to start the Colonel 8th inning. We'll have a pinch hitter, Madison Edwards, will bat for Brad Kuhn, and Luvita, what does our bullet point sheet say about the Principal Financial Family Fun Fest on Father's Day here at the ballpark Sunday, June 18th?
On that beautiful Sunday, outside the gates at 11 a.m. will be a traveling baseball festival. That includes more than 20 baseball-themed attractions, an Xbox 360 Home Run Derby video game trailer, a minor league baseball museum, batting and pitching cages, a bungee run, side-by-side giant slide, one of those large, huge giant slides that the kids like to play in. Oh, that's exciting.
Oh, yes.
And baseball bounce house. I'm not sure what that one is. I've never seen that. I'm curious. And more baseball fun for all ages. Just come on down and enjoy yourselves on Father's Day. During that Father's Day brunch, that begins at 11 a.m. The game's at 2, gates open at 1.
Boy, Luvita, thanks. I think I'm going to see if Logan's mom might want to let him come for that Family Fun Fest.
That sounds like something I'm curious. I want to see that giant slide.
Yes, and that bungee cord jump.
I'm a big kid, so you might have to turn me away from that.
We all are at heart, I hope. A ground ball hard past first base by pinch hitter Madison Edwards. Brad Kuhn lifted as a regular here in the 8th inning. Brad getting a little bit of a rest down the stretch. Madison Edwards batting 136, left-handed hitter. He'll take over in center in the top of the 9th inning. 13-4 Burlington. They pounced on Colonel Ace Nick Adenhart early. Ground ball up the middle. It's a base hit for Madison Edwards. Stopping at second is Marco Albano. The Colonels have their 13th hit of the day. 30 hits in this game. 30 hits in this game. 17 for Burlington, 13 for the Colonels. And it's first and second. First and second, nobody out. Larry Infante is the second pinch hitter used in succession by manager Bobby Magallanes. Infante will take over at shortstop in the 9th inning. Larry Infante batting 161. One home run. It came on Memorial Day and helped the Colonels win in Clinton 2-1. Larry, a home run. 9 RBIs. He drove in the only Colonel run last night on a bases-loaded sacrifice fly. A big swing and a miss by Larry Infante, strike one. Albano at second. Madison Edwards at first. Nobody out here in the 8th inning. And a fastball outside. It's 1-1. Well, Luvita Hill, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Logan Clark and the rest of the Cedar Rapids School District gets out of school at noon tomorrow. We'll be going to Erskine Elementary in Pierce with our reading. Here's a high drive to right, but it's a sinking liner caught by Carlos Arroyo. Tagging and advancing to third is Marco Albano. First and third, one out, as pinch hitter Larry Infante hit it right on the button, but lines out to right for the first out here in the 8th inning. We'll be going to our final 2 school assemblies. It's ironic that the public schools here in our area are getting out, but at the University of Iowa, things are almost not quite back to normal, but what happens tomorrow?
Actually, John, on Tuesday, our summer school classes begin. Most of the summer school classes begin on Tuesday. There have been some 3-week classes that are still taking place, and I think they might have ended Friday. And then we also have classes that begin June 20th. But the bulk of the classes start Tuesday, June 6th.
Wow. School back in session at Iowa. Here's a towering pop-up in foul ground by Dallas Morris. And over in the B bullpen to make the catch is Jeremy Jerschley. Jeremy Jerschley flags down that foul pop off the bat of Dallas Morris. And that's the second out here in the B 8th inning. Runners at the corners for Jordan Renz. Jordan will try to pick up Dallas Morris, who couldn't drive in Marco Albano from third on that foul pop into the B bullpen. Luvita, we have very, very good news, and we'll share it in a moment about today's crowd. Ball one in the dirt.
Today's attendance, 2,593. That is a very, very good number for this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
It sure is. Swing and a miss by Renz. It evens the count 1-1. 2,593. And they have had just so much fun here this afternoon.
That's very exciting. Where else would you want to be on a beautiful Sunday afternoon?
Me, nowhere else. Here's a little roller up the first baseline, and it squibs fair. It stays fair. It's gloved right in front of the base by pitcher Rainer Oliveros, who makes the unassisted putout on Jordan Renz. Jordan Renz bounces one up the first baseline. The pitcher gets to it, almost collides with Miguel Vega, but the pitcher Oliveros steps on first to end the Colonel 8th inning. No runs in the 8th for the Colonels. One hit, a hit batsman. There were no B errors. The Colonels leave 2 more aboard and have left 12 today. The Colonels have stranded a dozen. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Colonels are behind 13-4, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball here on the Colonel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo.
Did you know that June is Perennial Gardening Month? Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center is your perennial plant expert with the best selection in town. Start your lasting perennial garden with Peck's great variety of new and all-time favorite perennials. From our selection of quality perennials, Peck's will help you select the right perennials for your garden or yard. Each week during the month of June, Peck's will feature a perennial plant available for a special price. Be sure to look for this week's featured perennial as you stroll through our many acres of plants and flowers. Stop by to visit the plant people at Peck's as you start your perennial garden or add to your existing garden. Peck's, celebrating 50 years of growing since 1956. Peck's Flower Shop and Garden Center, Nursery and Landscaping at the corner of Blair Ferry and Edgewood Road, Northeast.
And that brings us to the top of the 9th inning. We have a U.S. Cellular call to the Colonel bullpen. Rafael Cruz will take over for the Colonels. Tim DeJurgis pitched a scoreless 8th inning. Tim went 1 inning, gave the Bees no runs on 1 hit, struck out 1, and walked none. Lower third of the order to face Rafael Cruz, the Colonel right-hander. Rafael Cruz pitched a scoreless inning last night in the B 3-1 win. He's greeted with a high fly ball into center, Madison Edwards, who took over in center to start this inning after pinch hitting for Brad Kuhn. Makes the one-handed grab, 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. Tomorrow, hot dogs are only $1. The gates open at 6. The game starts at 7 o'clock. The Colonels look like they'll be trying to gain a split with the Bees as Burlington has a big lead here in the 9th inning today, 13-4, before 2,593. Well, there's a funny sound as the left-handed batter, J.P. Lowen, doinked one off the facade of the grandstand roof right behind home plate. Levita, it almost sounded like London chimes of a church.
It did as it hit the roof that's right above us.
Boy, it must really have reverberated that steel. Rafael Cruz has been very good out of the Colonel bullpen this year. No record, a 2.25 ERA. He's on for the 9th time with no saves. In 12 innings, Rafael has allowed 15 hits, struck out 3, walked 1. He has J.P. Lowen way out in front of a curveball, strike 2 swinging. Now Lowen bounces it foul past the Colonel first baseman, Mark Trumbo. Trumbo and Whipkey are 4 for 4 today. How many times do you suspect you have 2 players in one lineup that go 4 for 4, yet your team doesn't win the game? Well, that's the prospect staring the Colonels in the eye as we trail 13-4 here in the top of the 9th inning. J.P. Lowen corks another pitch foul, this one into the Colonel first base dugout. 2,593 on hand here this afternoon, and they saw the Bees knock out our best pitcher, Nick Adenhart, after 2 innings. Nick allowed 9 runs, 7 earned on 9 hits in 2 innings. Here's a ground ball foul, and J.P. Lowen is playing pepper with the right field foul area. Kids will run the bases after this afternoon's game, thanks to Velocity Sports Performance. Another 0-2 from Cruz. Backdoor slider looked good from here, but the plate umpire ruled it ball one. We'll be visiting Erskine Elementary and Pierce Elementary School tomorrow morning with Colonel right-hander Tim DeJurgis. Here's a high fly ball tailing away from Tyler Johnson. He dives. His glove comes off. He can't get it. It's the 17th hit of the day for the Bees. J.P. Lowen is 4 for 5. J.P. Lowen plugged one into left center. Tyler Johnson gave it a heroic effort diving in from his left field position. In fact, his black mitt came off. Tyler's all right, and 1 on, 1 out for the Bees here in the 9th inning. Ethan Santana has 2 hits, a walk, and a run scored. He fouls one away, and what a catch made with the glove. The fan puts his hand over his heart as though it's thumping a mile a minute. A fella caught a foul ball, and giving him a lifetime honorary Colonel contract and a free spaghetti dinner to Zio Giano's, one of our hostess, an usher. Here's a line shot into left. It's caught by Tyler Johnson. Ethan Santana lines out to left, 2 away here in the Burlington 9th inning. Boy, that was some catch by that fan with the glove. Do you see him, Luvita?
I saw him afterwards, but I didn't see him make the catch.
He reached out, and I think that got almost as big a hand as Jordan Renz's home run and Mark Trumbo's 2-run home run back in the 2nd inning. Colonel fans haven't had a lot to cheer about here today for baseball, but I'd have to rate performance by Bird Zirk worthy of an Academy Award or a Oscar, or whatever the award is for making people laugh.
I have to agree with you with that one on John.
There's probably some award they give mascots and comedians. I just don't know the name of it. But he was something, Bird Zirk. Oh, I think I overheard that Bird Zirk's giving autographs.
Oh,
so
wow.
When Logan Clark goes down after this half inning, hold on just a second, Sonia. We'll have Logan be able to get an autograph from Bird Zirk, but let's make sure he goes down the right field line to get to run the bases. Here's a bouncer to second, gloved by the new second baseman, Larry Infante, who throws out Josh Johnson. In the 9th inning for Burlington, no runs, 1 hit. There were no Colonel errors. The Bees leave 1 aboard. They've stranded 6. We go to the bottom of the 9th, and Burlington leads the Kernels 13-4. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. When it's nice out, he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds.
Gotcha.
Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg's does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, and patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes!
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service, a cut above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family's blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
Elazer Garcia will take over for Burlington here in the bottom of the 9th inning. The Bees lead it 13-4. Rainer Oliveros is the pitcher of record for Burlington, and he went 3 1/3 innings, blanked the Kernels on 4 hits, struck out 2, walked 1, hit a batter. And the left-hander's first pitch is laced into right field. Flint Whipke's 5 for 5. Flint Whipke's 5 for 5. Flint Whipke ripped the first pitch from lefty, Eleazar Garcia into right, to the left of Josh Johnson, and what a memorable day for Colonel D.H. Flint Whitkey. He is now 5-4-5. Wow, Flint, his average will go from 248 to about 270 by tomorrow. Now Mark Trumbo trying to go 5 for 5. He fouls one straight back, strike one.
Number 45,
Eleazar Garcia is a southpaw. The pitcher of record for Burlington, the relief pitcher Rainer Oliveros. Mark Trumbo 4 for 4 today. And ball one is low to Eleazar Garcia. Or to Mark Trumbo from Eleazar Garcia. The Kernels have 14 hits, but only 4 runs, have stranded 12 batters today. Mark Trumbo trying to go 5 for 5. Nubs one to short, could be a double play. Shortstop to second, and Josh Johnson to first to complete the double play. Mark Trumbo retired for the first time tonight, today. Mark forces Flint Whitkey 6-4 for the first out, and then Josh Johnson on to first for the double play. So there are quickly 2 gone here in the Colonel ninth inning. Rainer Oliveros, the pitcher of record for the Bees, likely to go to 3 and 4. Swing and a miss, strike one on Brett Martinez. Nick Adenhart will be the loser. He'll absorb just his second loss in this his 12th start. 13-4 Bees. Swing and a miss, strike two on Brett Martinez. Eleazar Garcia, a lefty, is working the bottom of the ninth inning, trying to help the Bees go ahead in this series 2-1. He's ahead of Brett Martinez. No balls, 2 strikes. And Brett fouls one straight back. Down below it goes, and they scramble for it. Brett Martinez has walked his last 2 times up. The Kernels, with their highest error total of the year, made 5, 4 of them in the B 6-run second inning. Swing and a miss, and that does it. This ball game ends with Burlington the victor, 13-4. In the ninth inning for the Kernels, no runs, 1 hit, Flint Whitkey's 5th of the day. There were no B errors, and the Kernels leave, nobody aboard. Well, what we thought would be a pitching duel turns out to be a 32-hit Sunday afternoon. Burlington dismantles the Kernels by the final score of 13-4. The Bees, in their royal blue batting practice tops, congratulating each other between the mound and second base. The Burlington staff waiting to give their players a glad hand. And on this beautiful Sunday afternoon, the Kernels lose 13-4. We'll be back with the totals, highlights, and more next on the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
Next up, a musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on an old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you like to be a pepper?
Now that's cool, but pepper is a little better. So let's slide in a taste of this.
I'm a pepper,
Right on. But there's still more to it. I mean, there's nothing like it, because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste, every sip is a cool mix of music to your mouth. Woo! Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Your home is a place for savoring all the good things in life. It's a place for celebrations. It's a place where memories are created. To make sure your home is properly insured, visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion, your professional Pekin insurance agency. Sheets Forest Draper will give you all important details about homeowners insurance with complete coverages and surprisingly affordable rates. Visit Sheets Forest Draper in Marion for homeowners insurance for your well-lived and well-loved home.
It's time for the Kernels Curtain Call. Now, with a game recap, a complete look at the State Farm scoreboard, and a look ahead to upcoming action, let's rejoin the voice of the Kernels, John Rogers.
Welcome back on this beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon to the ballpark where we expected a pitching duel, a low-scoring game, and we got just the opposite as Burlington bombs the Kernels 13-4. On paper, it looked like we'd have a great pitching matchup. Colonel right-hander Nick Adenhart, 7-1 with a 1.36 ERA, going up against Matt Naginski, a Canadian, with a 6-2 record, who had 4 straight wins. But nothing further from the case here this afternoon as Burlington sent 7 men to the plate, scored 3 times in the first inning, and then the Bees sent 10 men to the plate, capitalized on 4 Colonel errors, tallied 6 in the second inning, led 9-0. The Colonels did make some noise for this big crowd, over 2,500 on Sunday. In the bottom of the second, Jordan Renz belted his team-high 12th home run of the year, leading off the second inning to make it 9-1. Clint Whipke, with the first of his 5 hits today, doubled into left over the left fielder Ethan Santana's head. Then Mark Trumbo, who had 4 straight hits, socked his 8th home run of the year, a 2-run blast onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left, and the B lead was cut to 9-3. The Colonels made it 9-4 in the third inning, a 1-out double by Dallas Morris, and a 2-out base hit to right by Flint Whipke scored Dallas to make it 9-4. But the mountain was too steep and too arduous a climb this afternoon for the Colonels. The Bees added a run in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and led it 11-4, then scored 2 more in the 7th inning and won it going away by the final of 13-4. What a scene unfolding below. Velocity Sports Performance is letting kids run around the bases. They're having a great time doing it on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Here's the final line score. For Burlington, 13 runs, 18 hits, no errors. They stranded 6. The Colonels, 4 runs, 14 hits, 5 errors, and the Colonels left 12 men aboard. The winning pitcher for the Bees out of the bullpen came on to get the last out in the 5th inning. Rainer Oliveros, he's 3-2. And the loser for the Colonels, just his 2nd loss of the year, Nick Adenhart, is 7-2. The game took 2 hours and 45 minutes, and a crowd of 2,593 were here to see it. The final 13-4, Burlington. We'll be back in just a moment with our PRC play of the game. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Colonel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
Following a Burlington 13-4 win, the kids are running the bases down below. Hundreds of them on Velocity Sports Performance run the bases on Sunday. It's time now for PRC's play of the game. If you're looking for a job where you'll be a part of an amazing team that cares for your needs and gives you the ability to grow, visit PRC's website, www.prcnet.com. TheCernelsNet.com. The Kernels trailed 9-0 after an inning and a half. Jordan Renz led off the third with his team-high 12th home run of the year to make it 9-1. Flint Whipke then doubled to left, and that brought up Mark Trumbo. With Trumbo at the plate, here's our PRC play of the game.
Mark swings hard on a curve and misses strike two. Jordan Renz's leadoff home run here in the second, his 12th of the season. Mark on the 1-2 delivery, belts it deep to left, way back at the wall. Adios! Two-run homer.
We're going to try one more time. I think I figured out what I might have done incorrectly in this sequence. So let me try to correct that. No, that's not it. Okay. Well, Mark Trumbo with a 2-run home run, our PRC play of the game. And again, I apologize for the tinty sound of that MP3 player, but perhaps we'll get the folks at KCRG to look at our Comrex tomorrow. Mark Trumbo's 2-run homer, the first of his 4 hits. Flint Whipke was on aboard ahead of Mark Trumbo. Flint was 5 for 5 today, but it wasn't enough offense as the Bees jumped on us early with 9 runs in the first 2 innings and wind up winning in a cakewalk 13-4. That's our PRC play of the game. A job at PRC is a job you'll love. PRC, the former Access Direct here in Cedar Rapids, terms their benefit package Life Essentials. They include medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance at PRC, a casual dress code, a 401k retirement savings plan, and a flexible working schedule. Visit PRC online at www.prcnet.com. 13-4 When we return, we'll have a complete look at the action from this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard here on the Kernel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westfield Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet stream comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westfield Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
We're back on the Colonel Curtain Call. The kids are still enjoying running around the bases thanks to Velocity Sports Performance and thanks to State Farm Insurance agents Gary Schubat, Dale Thompson, Brad Dunn, and Al Shetler. We now have a look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And with it, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill.
In the American League this afternoon, the Red Sox trimmed past the Tigers at Comerica Park 8-3. At Tropicana Field, the Devil Rays knocked off the Blue Jays 10-5. At Camden Yards, the Orioles derailed the Yankees 11-4. And the Rangers beat the White Sox at US Cellular Field 10-2. Game still taking place in the American League. The Royals are ahead of the Mariners at Safeco Field 7-3 in the top of the 6th. And at the Coliseum, the Twins trail the A's 4-1 in the top of the 6th. And later tonight, our parent club, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, and Indians at Jacobs Field. In the National League this afternoon, the Diamondbacks topped the Braves at Turner Field 9-3. And in 12 innings, the Giants beat the Mets at Shea Stadium 15-13.
Luvita, give that final again.
At Shea Stadium, the Giants beat the Mets 15-13, and that was in 12 innings.
Wow.
At PNC Park, the Padres edged past the Pirates 1-0. The Nationals whipped past the Brewers at Miller Park 8-4. And at Busch Stadium, the Cardinals led the Cubs 9-6.
Now, did the Cardinals won that game?
Yes, they did. The Cardinals won that one. And games still taking place at Minute Maid Park. The Reds and Astros are tied up 4-4, and that one is currently in the 11th inning. At Coors Field, the Marlins are edging past the Rockies 4-3, and that's in the top of the 9th. And the Phillies hold a 3-2 advantage over the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium in the top of the 7th.
That's our complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard, brought to us by State Farm Insurance Agents.
Dale Schubert, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Al Shetler, Gary Schubert, and Brad Dunn. I combined some names in there.
That's probably been done before with those great State Farm agents. Luvita Hill, thank you so much. Tomorrow we'll conclude this 4-game series with the Dollar Monday. Hot dogs are only $1 tomorrow, and the game starts at 7. The gates open at 6. We'll have the game for you right here in the zone, ESPN Radio 1600, 640 with the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. This afternoon, Burlington scored 9 in the first 2 innings and cruised home to a 13-4 win. They take a 2-1 lead in this series. The Kernels hoping for a win tomorrow that would gain us a split. It was such a pretty day here at the ballpark. We thank all the 2,593 that attended. It was a real pleasure bringing you the action, and nothing further from the pitching duel we expected developed today as the clubs combined for 32 hits and 17 runs, Burlington scoring the majority of them in whipping the Kernels 13-4. For Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, I'm John Rogers, wishing you a great rest of your Sunday afternoon and evening. Again, the final, the Bees 13, the Kernels 4. This has been Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
This has been a special sports presentation from The Zone, ESPN Radio, 1600 AM, Cedar Rapids. Now back to our regularly scheduled ESPN programming, already in progress.